Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my
So
brother.
yeah, I'm looking on here. It says 50-inch, Vizio 269.
Oh, for real?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted like a 70. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather just get the 50 because
What you trying to see on a 70 that you can't see on a 55?
Everything.
You want to see everything?
Everything, bro.
You want to see the slight discoloration on her labia, like like right at the tip. Sometimes it'd be like a little darker.
Yeah. Little fried edges.
Well, you said little fried egg?
Fried edges.
Oh, fried edges? That's how we open it, nigga?
Oh shit! The little Black Forest ham edges.
The little fucking crispy edges pancakes.
Oh shit! Oh man.
Well, that's how we're starting this
Canceled.
one.
Yep.
We're done.
No, they said last week. They said that was one of the best episodes.
Yeah, that's what
It
it was
was
done.
honest.
I figured the fan base that watches it is not going to ever cancel.
No.
It's going to be people that come in and see a clip,
And who
and then people
cares?
that don't know us and be
Yeah.
like, we don't like them. But it's not going to matter to us because the people that like us already like us.
Right.
It's not going to really matter. I didn't go through all the because there's a bunch of episodes I haven't watched in a long time. I got to go back through and look at the comments.
I gotta go back there and make clips.
Yeah,
I want to make like a highlight, like
of the wild.
real
that might need to be
clips.
somebody else to do that because that's going to take a
Yeah.
lot of time. But what I was trying to do even from the clip standpoint because I wanted to make it full vertical, but right now the camera is just not not
Right.
strong enough it'll be too pixelated. So I'll probably just make them again how we was making them. But somebody was like, a lot when we did the kids talk a lot of times, it's just like this nigga Keenan has no idea. He'll see when he asks. He keeps talking about these scenarios. Ain't no scenario until you have a child, nigga. And I was just like,
Yeah.
fair. I was like, I'm not gonna argue with you on that, and I'm not even set on any of my scenarios. I'm not set on like this is what's going to happen when I have a kid. It's pretty much what I'm hoping to happen, but I'm also preparing for as much things as I can prepare for. In the sense of like, all right, it can go far left or right, or it can be in the middle. It could be.
I had a parenting situation yesterday where like a whole like, fuck, what am I doing? Like self,
reflection.
Because we were, Kendrick is smart. Like tell him
Like
something.
accelerated.
Tell him something one time.
You said Kendrick.
Boom, boom.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Keelan is like his brain, his processing takes forever. And then if he gets overwhelmed, he's that kid in the meme where you're like, what's 7 + 7? He's like, robot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's that kid.
Yeah.
And even in sports, whatever, he's one of the people, if we do it enough time where it's repetition and he don't have to think.
Yeah. Memorization, in a sense, he can get that.
But learning, so I have to work on my patience. So yesterday, he's writing, he's doing his spelling. So he first it was his math. This nigga's bringing home terrible math scores. So we started doing extra math work for 2 weeks. He's aced every test since. So he don't have to think. He knows it now. So now it's the spelling and stuff. So he's writing a word, and I'm like, does that make sense? Like, sound that out. So he's trying to sound out his word. He's asking me how to spell stuff. I'm not telling you. Sound it out. Figure it out. So then he got to a point where he gets so flustered. I said, what sound does the R make? And he couldn't do it. He's like, I'm like, you don't know?
Yeah, you don't.
So Kendrick's jumping in doing it. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like, you've known this since you were 3. Like, what are you doing? And here comes the
Pressure.
He's like, I need to go to the bathroom because I see he's about to start crying.
Oh fuck.
So I go to the bathroom. I said, Keelan, I'm calm. I'm like, what's the problem? I'm so stupid. I was like,
Shit.
I said, don't you ever say no shit like that.
Right.
Ever in your life.
Damn.
I was like, you're not dumb. He was like, I just suck at everything. I said, nope, that's not
Damn.
true. So then I had to literally go through everything he kills at. And I was like, are you not? I said, what happened 2 weeks ago with your, 3 weeks ago when you were doing your math, and now you're acing every test, right? I was like, you were stupid. Could you do that? No. I was like, baseball. You had a problem with your swing. We fixed it. Now you're hitting home runs. Could you do that if you sucked? No. I was like, it's just about practice. So I spent the rest of the day building them up, yada, yada, yada. So then
You should have told him, but you get bitches though.
That's all that matters. None of this
all that matters. None of this
school shit doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
If you get bitches,
You're handsome. You're talented. It doesn't matter. So we go to MMA after that, and I'm gassing them up the whole way. Like I'm really hard for them. Like, don't ever say no shit like that. We go to MMA. This nigga's killing it, being the most. You know what I mean? And so every time I have like a moment like that, Me and Cotty were texting. She was like, he always says we're too hard on him, yada yada yada. And so I addressed
Where would
that
he get that? Like, what relative to what? Like,
to his brother.
oh, okay.
So
okay.
I talked to him about that in the car too, both of them. I said, to you, it seems like we're on you, and the reason why is because I'm always repeating myself. And I was like, because you don't be focusing, you don't be listening. So therefore, I'm saying the same things over and over. So I feel like I'm writing you because you're not listening. So now my approach has been, if he does something, I'm like, now how many times did I actually do that? Or what, I was like, I mean, you get mad at us saying we're writing you, but he was like, oh, you're right. So he kills it at MMA. He comes home, and he goes, I'm gonna do some extra homework because I want to kill this. So that's one thing I'll give him. Like every time I feel like shit, it does work. Like he's like, you know what? And he levels up another time. So
Yeah.
I was like, but I felt so when he said I'm dumb, like
Yeah.
nigga, that I was like, did you ever? I didn't cuss, but I was like,
Yeah.
don't you ever say no shit like
Yeah,
that, like
I
bro.
can imagine.
And then
Wow.
and then for me too is like how much parenting matters. Like if I'm a bad parent, yeah, you are dumb, and then his whole trajectory from there.
Yeah.
But nigga, I went from Gas City.
That's
he kills it at
wild.
MMA. He comes home, he does extra homework. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it, blah blah. I'm gonna do so well on my test, like yada yada yada. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna build you up. Like don't ever.
Yeah.
But when he said it, I felt really bad.
I mean, I know I can't speak to this because I don't have children, guys. But from a school, when I even went as a teacher's aide, it's just like the reason why, you know, you kind of have to break up the students into smaller groups is because everybody learns at a different level, especially
Right.
then. And just like from what you're saying, what it seems like to me, it's like Kendrick just picks up fast. Like,
Right.
he just gets it. And I can understand because I was kind of the student that didn't pick up fast.
Yeah.
So it's just like you kind of have to, especially when it comes to certain topics like math, I have to be explained probably almost every time I'm doing it, which
Right.
can probably frustrate my brother who tutored me mostly.
Frustrate?
Frustrating, like frustrating.
Okay.
Is that a word?
He said it weird.
He said it weird, but it's
I might even have a little bit of a speech impediment. I don't know if y'all noticed. I kind of like.
Nigga, yes, we do. Said all the time.
I didn't think so.
We
but-
been
I just thought he slipped up on some words here and there.
I think it's a little bit of like I already speak super fast, so it sounds
Yeah.
like I mumble. But anyways, so I can understand that. It's like like with Kendrick, with Keelan, it seems like he's like I got to take things slower with him because it's like he just doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just not going to be as quick as Kendrick, and it's like it's not. It like you say, it doesn't mean anything about him being stupid.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
brother
Slower
with
progress.
math, he was the kid that can sleep in math class. And we go, oh, we got a test. Oh,
Right.
90. It's like for me, that same test I could study for a month for and might not get a 90 on it.
Right.
I might get like a 75 and 80 maybe, but it's stupid. Like, yo, why did you mess? It's like I don't know. It's just tougher for me.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And I talked to him about that. I said, this is because the week before I said, so how do I help you? And he was like, one thing, you got to slow down.
what he told you.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm glad
"Slow
you
down."
asked him. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what am I doing wrong? And he was like, slow down. Like you start going so fast, and then it's too much. Like he even said that in baseball. I was like, he had a really bad game last week. I was like, what's happening out there? And he's like, everything's moving fast. And I said, well, stop thinking. I was like, what he'll do too, he'll have a right answer, and then be like, I don't. He's so in his head. I'm like, bro,
I understand.
just do whatever comes natural, and stop overthinking, stop worrying about stuff. I was like, I literally watched you the day before do a diving barehanded catch. Just because that was your instincts.
Yeah.
I was like, but when you're in the game and you're like, what base is 2 outs? I was like, when you start doing that, you're done.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gotta. So one thing I've been doing too is I looked up like how to make yourself sharper. So it said like puzzles, board games. So we've been playing dominoes. So he has
That's
to count.
so fucking funny. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, you playing dominoes. I had to do it a nigga way. I'm gonna do it a nigga way. I'm not gonna.
Spades.
You know what I mean?
That's
like-
don't let him play spades, bro. You're gonna ruin his life. Bro.
Yeah, spades too much.
That's gonna ruin his life.
So the dominoes, the first day.
I was
day
thinking
trash.
Candyland, chicks and ladders,
No.
Yeah.
puzzles, basic.
regular
This
kid
nigga
shit.
came straight out. Yeah, nigga, we on the bones.
Because he can do his math. He's gonna have to, he's gonna have to
Understandable,
think
yeah.
forward. So we were doing it, and the first day he's not getting it.
Right.
The next day we played, he starts scoring points. He starts predicting. So if I play this here, I was like, I want you to start thinking ahead. I want you to start, doing math, blah blah. So we're playing little games, but he liked it, and then he started to low key. I mean, I know people say it. These kids play too many video games, but him playing these games now are so realistic. Him playing MLB The Show helps him with the rules of baseball,
Yeah.
the swing. So
For sure.
he's
Yeah.
like he's picking stuff up. He plays like they didn't know nothing about basketball. They play 2K every day. They know what to travel, double dribble. They know all. So you let them play these things. They pick it up. So, but I talk to him a lot because I'm like, and I told Cody I was like, it's me having to, because Kendrick's like me, where it's.
Yeah.
And Keelan's like Cody. Cody was like, yeah, I still get jumped. Kyrie, my younger brother, he still gets jumped. Like, and he said it. He was like, my mouth moves faster than my brain. So
Nigga,
when
I
I
know.
talk,
Oof.
whatever comes out, but that's
Yeah.
not what I meant to say. And
Yeah.
then Cody does that, and they get flustered. So Cody was like, yeah, we just got to be more patient. I was like, but you're not dumb. You just
Yeah, that shit hurt my
process
soul.
differently.
I know.
Yeah.
I was watching this interview with this dude named Gary Vee, and he was talking. Somebody asked him about parenting, and he was just like, he's like, I think the parenting skill of teaching their kids critical thinking has died. Because everybody kind of like just like, all right, they get mad at like screen time and how much like we think that screens are killing children. It's just like it's not the screens killing children. You gave the kid the screen, like you know what I'm saying. You're saying, hey, pick up the iPad. And he was just like, yo, nobody's ever putting these children in critical thinking situations anymore, or asking them what do they think. They just be like, why don't you know this?
Right.
Instead of saying like, that's why I say it was great that you asked him like, what can I do? How can I help you be better? Or what am I doing that's making you feel this way? And he goes, oh, it's this. It's like, okay, cool. I didn't even know that. I know I'm just doing what the hell I'm supposed to do. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think with parents, it's like, and I'm going off my experience from how I grew up, I guess, when I was a kid, when I can remember, of course. But it's just like, bro, like, you can't just tell me, like, to do something and I'm supposed to just know how to do something.
Right.
Like, or if I react a certain way, it's just like, yo, if you ask me certain things, I'm like, well, I didn't get it because of this. I'm like, oh, that's an easy tweak now. Right? It's like now you know to tweak some things for Keelan, and you be like, all right, cool. It's gonna make your parenting with him easier. You're gonna probably have setbacks, I'm sure, but for the most part, it's like, all right, I know how to deal with Keelan a little bit better now because he told me to slow down, don't probably get on him so tough, so when he gets flustered,
He gets so flustered.
and then at a certain point in time when he's probably like 13, he'll have that mastered at some point.
Yeah.
How old is he?
7.
That's man. I can't. I'm like when you said it, I couldn't even grasp like just the idea
Of that?
of that. Like
But I
I
think-
was thinking like even what if I like because I go back to my childhood like what if I would have told my mom like I'm just so stupid like the self-deprecation of it.
Yeah.
Like the
What you
like
would have said?
I don't. She probably would have like shut your dumb ass up. Like I don't know. Like slap me or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But-
I don't know if it would have
And that's the
unleashed
thing too. Like these kids. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just like a softness. Because you immediately like you can't be you know what I mean.
No,
Even in that
hell no.
moment,
Right.
you can't be aggressive.
I immediately was like, it's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible dad.
Yeah.
Like I immediately was like, no, you done nothing.
But
wrong.
then we also criticize the children for not being as tough as us, right? Because like we made it. I was like, but you have issues, bro.
Yeah.
Like, like
my mom would have said, "Boy, you ain't stupid. Shut up." Like
Yeah.
that. She would have just dismissed
Right,
it. She
exactly.
wouldn't have like entertained like
No,
or
I was like-
engaged with me.
yeah.
And then Cody made a good point. She was like, he's probably, they do their homework together. He's probably looking over at Kendrick. Because Kendrick's, now he's at a point, too, where he's like, so if I do all this today, I'm done for the week? I was like, yeah. Kendrick's like, I'm just going to knock it out now. So he's watching Kendrick fly through his paper, and he's stuck
Yeah.
on one. He's probably looking at him like, he's 5, I'm 7, I'm dumb because I can't do it like he does it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, no.
Especially him being the older brother might be also more of a psychological thing.
Right,
where
and
it's
Kendrick
like,
was butting in.
yeah.
So he's like, ruh, and Kendrick, when he got stuck, Kendrick was like, ruh, and Kendrick was spelling the word.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
And he was like, "Don't help me with," and I was like, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
it's right.
Keelan, come on, let's go hit this baseball, bro. This is your lane.
Well, you're the athlete now.
right, bro. Like, so Kendrick does that a lot, and he'll jump in, and he'd be like, "Keelan, it's easy." And I'm like,
Interesting. Do you think it would be more effective to have those conversations isolated in isolation, like where Kendrick is not in the, you know what I mean, in the earshot?
well, I mean, yeah. When he's doing that, they're doing it.
Yeah,
they do
'cause-
it, and they do it to each other because when Kendrick's struggling, Keelan loves to jump in.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
math, because Keelan knows the math now. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, Kendrick, you take it away. He'd be like, it's 4. I'd be like, don't do that. But I understand why you're doing it. I was
Right.
like, don't do that to you guys. But I do a lot of stuff together because I want them, even though Kendrick never called himself dumb, for both of them, I was like, I don't want to ever hear neither one of y'all
Yeah.
do this, that, and I spent the rest of the day gassing them up. And then, but to watch one thing I'll give them, kids are more resilient than we give them credit for too.
For
So
sure.
like, even though he had that moment, like I said, MMA he killed. He did extra homework. He wanted to read extra books because one thing he doesn't want to suck. So,
right. Yeah.
so
he's not
if-
defeated.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if he get knocked down, he getting up.
Yeah.
Like, he
Nice.
might have a moment, but then if he be like, no, I'm gonna be good at this,
Yeah.
he'll go do the work. And so like they both said they had to write a summer list. Like, what do you want to do for the summer? And write your goals out. And his goal was he was like, I just want to be good at everything. I said, well, that takes practice. I said, anything you think Steph just shoots like that? You think, whoever built a computer just knew how to? I was like, you got to work at it. So then as soon as I said that, they were like, well, let's go outside.
What's
We
his
gotta-
benchmark of like? What does he see that's like? Oh, this person is so good at.
He doesn't
this
want to.
and
He
that.
wants to be the best at everything.
Okay.
He just wants to be, because he likes the feeling. Like when he was acing them tests, he literally said, "I'm back."
So
Yeah.
when
He
he
beat his chest. He just wants to be.
for even the best at everything, was there a time where when you first noticed that he was either the best in his class or the best at something, to where he got that first experience of like, or that first energy of like, oh, I'm top dog here.
No, I just think he's had. You just have moments where you're just like
That felt that.
that felt like
adrenaline,
yeah, this
that
is
rush.
like when he got the game ball. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was killing today. Like
Yeah.
that rush. He just likes that feeling, and he just watches so much. I think he just watches so much sports. Like I caught him watching highlights on his iPad. Like
of hockey.
Of hockey, baseball, soccer. He just watches. He was watching a Pele documentary. He just watches sports, and sports are always talking about greatness and being. So I just think he's just like, I want to be the
Immersing
GOAT.
that. As
Yeah.
a 7-year-old, he's immersing like, you gotta be the greatest. It's like, bro,
Yeah, like freaking.
it just
But but it would be funny if he wanted to like emulate like an NBA player's story. Like if he's watching a documentary, he's like, "Dad, we gotta move to the projects. I gotta get caught up in gang violence, Dad, so I can be great."
Great, so bad.
you're
But
making this too easy for me.
his problem is he thinks that just happens.
Right.
So if he's like, I suck. I'm like, no, you have to work.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna. He wants to be good right now.
So have
at
you
everything.
have you put like the either the Jordan or Kobe kind of like either docs or like footage in front of
I'm
him?
not watching them maniacs. Fuck them. Niggas are weird, bro.
Balance.
Jordan's a weirdo.
Work-life balance.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
both of them are like.
But Kobe, you can still see, especially after he retired, his later years. He was very likable. But Jordan got mad at Barkley and still won't talk to him. Ain't talked to him in 10 years because Barkley said he wasn't a good owner. Nigga, you're not.
He's not. Yeah, he's terrible.
You're not a good owner, and because your friend criticized you, you ain't talked to him in
Gave
10
you
years.
the right construction.
Right. You
I
ain't
mean,
talk, that's
that's
fucking weird.
stop drafting mediocre white dudes. Jordan.
Nigga, like
Stop drafting them, bro.
ain't
like-
talked to him in 10 years.
But like, I guess from a Kobe standpoint, then it's like, or show him the athletes that he might like already, and if they have something, like I think Kevin Durant has one, Steph Curry might have some stuff out there to where it's like, yo, I shot this many shots a day,
Right.
and show him like, look, Steph Curry's where he's at now,
because
because
his
he
dad was a great shooter.
part of it too, for sure, but like. He does work this hard, and even though he's a great shooter right now, he hasn't stopped working hard either. Like, he still works. He can't stop today because he ain't gonna be able to shoot like that consistently. He has to
But
keep shooting
when
like
I
that.
tell them though, they just go.
Yeah.
As soon as they will, the pep talks be working, and then they'll course correct.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick had a thing. I forgot what was going on with him, and I got on. We talked about it on here, and I had a moment where I just felt so bad because I like cussed at him, yelled at him. But whatever that situation was, he stopped. You don't do it no more.
Yeah.
And you just so they'll fix it. I just feel bad in the moment. Like I'm just
Yeah.
like, damn. But
Because
then
it's so
But you
It
don't
was-
feel like you understand it's just a moment. You
Yeah,
don't feel like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a failure. As
Yeah.
like a mom will be like, "Oh my God, I just failed as a mother. My whole life is a waste." Like just would really put it on 10.
Well, I
in
think-
that moment I feel bad.
I
Just
think-
like in that moment they feel bad, but then like we
Yeah.
all bounce back and then
Well, it makes sense though too, because it's like sometimes when you talk to people when they get older, they be like, "This one moment when my mom said this changed everything."
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't want to have that one moment with your child too. That's how I look at it. Like whenever I do have children, it's like, man, I want to make sure. I was like, man, I hope I don't have that moment where I have a complete breakdown. I just snap and it's like, this was the moment my dad did this. I never saw him the
Even-
same again.
It's interesting.
even those what happens is what you never hear in them stories is the apology or the hug after or whatever. That's why.
Right.
So even in that moment, I knew he was breaking down. After we had the talk, I picked him up, tickles, kisses. I was like, I'm your biggest fan, right?
Yeah.
But like you have to. My dad used to do as much as my dad used to break me down. I always knew he was my #1 fan.
My
Like,
dad didn't do that, so that's
so
what I'm
you
saying.
have to
Like-
have the
like, but he didn't give me a hug, nigga. He
yeah.
just like,
you can do the
I got
hard
those phone
shit.
calls from the collect calls, and it was like he would really, you know what I mean. But then the
son.
timer run out like right when we got, so we
son, I
couldn't
think
finish
you're
the
doing
conversation.
eh.
He's like, man, we about to go on lockdown, so I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
But I think in a lot of cases is that when you're saying you don't hear the other side of it, because there's rarely
There
the
wasn't
other
another. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
You can break them down, but you got to build them back up.
for sure. I think
you
if you
can-
have a moment, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
have
what
to
was your
build it.
moment?
I mean, there was plenty of moments where like my dad, like, if he might have called me, dumb or stupid, and I don't even think he knew the repercussions of it, because that's how he was talked to when he was a child.
Right.
So it was just like that's how you speak to somebody when they're doing something stupid.
Was there like, do you recall like a moment of just like an awakening of like, just like a real like monumental like moment that really changed like the course or your frame of like,
I mean, I think what kind of got me to a point where I didn't feel as bad anymore. Where I guess it's kind of messed up, but it was just like when my dad was calling me that, I think my brother was just like, "This nigga struggling in high school." He was like, "Who was he to call us stupid?"
so your brother was there as like the voice of reason.
He was just like, "Who was he to call us?" Because he was calling us both like, "Y'all stupid" or whatever. It's like, "Who was he to call us dumb?" It's like we did way better than you in high school.
Yeah, okay.
And then it made me go, okay, like this person's kind of. It made me kind of. I didn't fully grasp that he was just lashing out yet, but then I started to put together like, oh, he's lashing out from probably one. He's like, I don't want you to be me,
Right.
right? That's one thing. And then two, this is how I dealt with. This is how I was told to deal with things. This is how I deal with them. This is how I teach you. Nowadays, he would never do that. If he has grandchildren, he's like, bro, I know way better to never call them that.
Right.
Yeah.
But back then, as an alcoholic still, and how he was raised, how he saw things, it made sense to him.
I don't
Yeah.
think dudes knew how to express. Because my dad was the same way as far as I don't want you to be me. I
Right.
don't think they know how to express that.
Exactly.
So how did he try to express it?
He was like him and Keith's whole thing was like
Okay,
that.
you just witnessing that?
It was just like they didn't know how to
That
tell
whole
you.
podcast episode was,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
They don't know how
Yeah.
to say like I just want you to be better than me, and they don't know, and they don't even know how to guide you to do that.
Well, cause it seemed like Keith. It seemed
They're
like,
good now, by the way.
Well, I'm saying, but it
they-
seemed like your younger brother, Lil Keith. It's like I feel like he, with at least with his daughters, he has that like, nah, like I'm going to make sure you're the best ever. It's not like
Oh,
on
yeah.
some like like I don't want you to be me, so I'm gonna be aggressive. You know, so I gotta be in your face. It's like I feel like parents from like our parents' generation, like you said, they didn't know how to cope with any of
Yeah.
that shit. It was just like the only way I know how to teach is the way I was taught.
Right.
Instead of being like, all right, I didn't like the way like for me, I go, my dad taught me a certain way. That was too much. Like for the kid that I was, I didn't need all that. So,
Yeah.
and I think when you have different kids, you might have to be probably a little bit more aggressive than the other child. With the other child, I understand that too. But it's just like I think now, for us anyways, we go like, well, even when you having those moments, being like, wait a second, I can't be like this with him because he's not gonna be able to handle this. He gets flustered. So if I keep being on him like, yo,
Yeah.
why don't you get this? Why? He gonna be like, he's gonna have a breakdown.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not even,
Yeah, they just don't know how to. They didn't know how to express it. But like even my dad growing up, he'd like when he was on us about grades, we'd be like, one day we were like, "What's your grades looking like?" And he wouldn't grab my mom's report card. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's funny.
You see your mother.
You see your mother. We was like, we ain't talking about me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you on us
Yeah.
about school? And
Yeah.
you was trash. You barely graduated.
And that's the thing. It's like I have this. I know I don't have children, but it's like I go through this thought of like, yo, how transparent do I want to be with my child? Do I want to be super honest with them about even my lifestyle of like how I did things? And it's just like, well, maybe not at a certain age you don't, but it's just like, who am I if my kid is struggling in school? I wasn't like a 2.5 student.
But that's not the point. That's not the comparison. That's not the competition. It's not between like, it's not like, oh, you did bad, so now I have a right to do just as bad. It's like, no, that's not the
Yeah,
message.
because we tried it. My dad was like,
yeah,
"Nigga,
it's like no, that's not the
For sure, but I'm saying from my standpoint, and I want my son or daughter to do better, but like, who am I to automatically jump out and be aggressive with them?
His motherfucking daddy. Nigga, I'm your daddy. I don't give a fuck what kind of grades I have, nigga. Sit your bitch ass down.
And the thing is, I know mine were shit, and I wish somebody would have corrected my
Yeah.
shit.
And-
You know what I mean? Like, my grandpa didn't correct. My grandpa made fun of my dad for wanting to go to, like, space camp.
Yeah, I remember he
So
said
it's
that,
like,
yeah.
nigga, I tried to be the school kid. You made
Right.
fun of me, so fuck that. So he's telling you, you know.
And I'm asking because I'm learning
Yeah.
because it's like for me
Yeah.
it's like my mom wasn't here like that, so she was the school person too. So it was like my dad wasn't. So for me it was just like all he knows is to be aggressive and angry about just do better. But how? Because I said so. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and then my brother wasn't the best tutor, even though he can tutor everybody else great. But he wasn't the best tutor for me. I mean, if somebody would have took their time and sat down with me, my grade probably would have jumped up too. And it's just like, all right,
Totally.
Which would build confidence.
which
too.
would build confidence,
Yeah.
of course. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, luckily I do have Janelle, and Janelle was her mom was a teacher. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was a teacher at a second too. But her mom was a teacher. She had great grades growing up, even through college, even when she was fucking around in college still and living that life. She was still able to pull off
She's
good ass
already
grades.
planning, like, go
Yeah.
talk to your mother.
Well, I mean, honestly, when they probably get to a certain level of
Right.
certain
Yeah.
thing about it, might be like, let's see what your mom thinks about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
but it's like,
I think that's a thing with Keelan too is
or get him tutoring.
no, as far as like how hard he is on himself, he does compare himself to me. So
Naturally, I think as kids would do.
So like and only on the bad side of his, like how we could say we got better grades than you or I'm better than you.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad was good at a lot of shit.
Right.
So he doesn't even have the well, nigga, you didn't. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. So it's like, so Dad got good grades and Dad was killing in sports and so it's like, I got a bar to like, man, I can't even use the you weren't that good, you know. So like, and I'd be cognizant of like trying not to compare him to me, even myself, because I'd be like, even watching his games, I'm like, bro, at that age, nigga, I was killing. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a whole. Every day, I'm just figuring it out, like different.
I think from a sports perspective, though, what could be different is that, and I'm guessing you did too, and I'm guessing Gary did, but like we played outside a lot, so a lot of times we kind of gained a little bit of natural athleticism because we were playing tag, we were playing like our playing was outside with our friends, whereas this generation doesn't have that as much. Like they might play at recess with their friends, and that's really it. We used to, like I was Keelan's age, walking to my friend's house by myself, and we were playing. You know what I'm saying? This generation was rarely ever doing that.
Yeah, well, mine do it because they have so many activities. So like
Right.
every day they do MMA, and every day they do baseball. So they have so many activities. They're always, and we let them stay after, run around, jump on, you know, whatever. So mine, athletically, they're good on that.
Theirs is more organized.
Yeah, it's just more
programs.
organized.
Well,
We're
I'm
just
saying,
outside.
whereas
Yeah.
us is like
We were
had-
just outside.
We was
Yeah.
outside, but I think
Yeah.
that
getting hurt.
Yeah, but I think that also too gives a lot of trial and error to what we did, and also to our sports and our when we play football, basketball, all that type of shit. Whereas it's like when it's a little too organized, it might be a little too like, all right, you might not get you're getting the basics, but you're not still learning how to like just go out there and hoop.
Right.
You
You're
know
not
what I'm
learning
saying?
like instincts. Like, how do you know that if you're getting chased by a dog to like run and jump on top of a car?
Right.
Like you don't have those skills.
And on
You don't know how to climb a fence.
As
Nigga,
funny
you're
as
useless.
as funny as that is, we had to hop walls
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah.
If I didn't have, like, my brother used to be the slow nigga. We had to go back, get this nigga pants falling down because he was chubby. We had to boost this nigga up over the wall first.
Say what you want about our generation, nigga, but we knew how to climb fences.
And then so me and my boy Glenn, we used to just be able to like backpedal and then run, hit the wall, like literally like, hit the wall with our feet and climb on it. Whereas my brother wasn't that dude.
But do you remember like that was around the time that Jackie Chan started popping and niggas
Rolling-
started trying to like
rolling the
climb a
Bronx.
wall like
The
Jackie Chan?
corner?
Rolling in the Bronx, nigga, bop, 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 and he was climbing up. Yeah. So it was like, you know, these kids are not learning that type. That's a different type of athleticism. Then you pair that with, you know, the athlete, then the actual like, not professionalism, but like the way it's done now. It's like you put both of those together, you're probably a monster.
Yeah.
But part of it is the parents though, because if you let kids just play, nigga, they're gonna try all that.
For sure.
And it's the parents going, get down, you're gonna get
Right,
hurt.
yeah.
They're
Or,
definitely a lot safer now.
You know,
than
like
scared,
because like
yeah.
if I let them go, it's still gonna
The
be
maniac.
death
That's
defying.
yeah. It's kind of funny the idea of like their inability to sense danger.
Man.
Like, 'cause we were in the streets.
Oh,
like
yeah.
at 7, 8, we would take the bus from the hood downtown San Francisco and like fuck with bums and shit, and just like go in stores and get chased by. But like we would do all kind of crazy shit.
Danger meant like
Yeah.
because like at that age
That was the
don't get
rush.
it.
That was the
Yeah,
adrenaline.
But I don't even think
death
you
didn't
get-
mean anything to us.
I don't think you really get the ramifications of what.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna jump off this thing. You're not thinking I can shatter my leg.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can. You just.
Oh.
I'm jumping. That's all I know. I'm gonna
I'm
jump.
still very fascinated by the. Were y'all like acrobatic or whatever.
Jumping off roofs and shit?
Yeah.
No, like jump off, like backflip. Like the niggas
Oh.
doing backflips off of shit
Nah.
at a young age was like mind-boggling to me.
Oh, I mean, seeing it was crazy.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what makes you think that that's like,
Yeah.
that you could just contort your body in this way and it's just gonna work out for you?
I had hella friends that used to be able to just run up the wall and do
Yeah,
backflips.
that shit used to trip me out, bro.
And like the Boys and Girls Club was kind of a big help for us. Like that's what I love the Boys and Girls Club when I was growing up. And it was just like there was like a gymnastic time where we're going there and like, you know, the dude would be like, all right, we're gonna do some flips. And he'll set up the pads super high. And he'd be like,
Okay,
all right, yo.
okay.
He had the pads down here, but he had the pads like this high. He'd be like,
Okay.
yo, just trust yourself and just flip and throw your body back. And niggas was landing on their head and they
Yeah,
neck. with their
okay.
shit done.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I don't remember any padding anywhere. I
Yeah.
just remember coming to school, niggas are doing flips.
yeah. Of
I'm like,
course.
when did you practice this?
On the bed?
Like, on the bed.
On the bed, yeah.
There you go. But even the bed hurt, though, if you
It
hit
did,
fall on
but
your
for
neck the
sure.
wrong way.
It did, and
For
we
sure.
didn't care.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay,
I
on the
watched the
bed.
kids when they're on the trampoline. They hit backflips all the
Okay.
time because they got
Yeah.
the front flips down. They can
Yeah.
both do front flips.
Yeah.
They'll jump, front flip. But they're like, Dad, we want to try back flips, and I watched one of them doing, and the way he landed, I'm like, nigga, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
backflips.
What made-
But you talking about learning backflips on twin beds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, back then we were fearless.
Damn.
I remember jumping off in Antioch, where our house, we had the house that went, you know, the stairs went up in this way.
Uh-huh.
So we would put pillows and stuff on the bottom and jump off
Yep.
every day.
Yeah.
Just jump off. Like, I know for a fact.
I would jump off some shit. I was never
if we're
flipping.
still in this house, when they get older, they're jumping off this
Okay, yeah.
onto
Yeah.
that trampoline. They're
Yeah.
gonna jump off the
Oh,
trampoline.
for sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it on the
And then
camera and
fly
be like,
into the chicken
"What the
coop."
fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Stop jumping off the roof." I know they're gonna try it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just feel and you want to try something. I always had that friend too that like he was like that daredevil nigga. Like you know, like that's the dude we used to hop walls with. But it's like it was the same thing. We used to live in an apartment complex. You'd be on a second level, and he used to be like, "I think I could jump off this." And we were like, "Nigga, what are you doing?" And he'd be like, "All right, I probably can't jump off from the top, from the feet off." But what he would do is he'll go on, he'll hang down, and he'll jump.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
at like 10 is
Yeah,
still
that's-
far as
that's a
fuck.
lot, yeah.
And you know,
But your body could take it then too.
and yeah, you get like you know.
I'm terrified of landing.
Nigga, there are.
Oh, now, because back then, like you would get like you know how you ever landed hard, you get like that feeling in your
Yeah.
feet. You were like, damn, feel like my feet
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
I forgot. I don't know what that feeling really is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally.
And like you would feel that jumping off there, but you just be like, let's do it again.
Right.
Like you was thinking about breaking your
If
leg.
I do that
nigga.
now, nigga. Shut it
Shatter,
down.
nigga.
Shut it
Anthony
down.
Davis, nigga. You just go crumble.
Shut it down.
I wonder if there's like 9-year-olds who like
torn
torn
ACLs.
ACLs and shit.
Well, here's the thing. So a buddy of mine, close buddy of mine, his son was, and he's pretty athletic, and he was jumping on. He took him to a trampoline place. You know, the places that have all a whole
Oh,
bunch
you're
of
talking
trampolines.
about
Yeah. So his son, like he snapped his shit,
yeah.
and you know at that age, they'll go, wait a second, we don't even want to do surgery on a kid this young.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to think long and hard about that, and then they found a doctor that was like that does it, and it was like, all right, we're gonna do it, but it's like in most cases you gotta kind of naturally heal, but it will never necessarily heal correctly.
Yeah.
And luckily, my boy, you know, he took like physical therapy as his major in college, so now when they're doing stuff, he's able to like walk him through all the stuff he needs to do to get his foot right. But this is like at 10 years old,
Right.
9-10 years old.
I saw his video. He looks like he's back though.
He's pretty much he's
Yeah.
probably not 100% yet, but he's close to it.
Right.
And it's just like, yo, but like that's like,
That's crazy.
I remember
man.
he was like
a Derrick Rose injury as a child.
and it was
Man.
like, and for him, I feel like even more psychologically for the kid to be like, yo, to get back to be like, yo, I want to hoop,
Right.
And I want to be able to still jump off this the way I used to jump off this before.
It's like my knee is so fucking stupid.
And
you
it's
know?
just, but he's starting to get to that point where he's doing it. You saw the videos, but it was just like I couldn't like even him as a parent. We were talking about. It, he was just like, bro, like I couldn't protect him, like,
Right.
And I wasn't even thinking this was going to happen. And now I'm just like, damn, like that was a tragic injury.
Right. And probably
So-
like a once in a.
Well, not trampoline injury. We look them up. Trampoline
For kids?
they're high as hell,
Damn.
nigga. It's like we don't think about it because we never got hurt by doing it.
No.
But like trampoline injuries are high as fuck.
Well, when I watch them, I'm just like, they don't give a shit,
Right.
and they're just. I'm like, guys.
I'm glad you got the net around because when we
Oh,
were growing
no,
up, there was
we had no
net.
net. No,
Yeah,
there's no net.
I've seen niggas fly off, hit
had
the
no
grass,
net.
hit the concrete,
Hit the metal part first, then off the side.
Yeah.
and be like, give me a second, I'm gonna get back on.
Yeah. And that's one thing I'll give them too. If they get hurt, they go back.
Yeah.
They're not that. You remember you had those kids that get hurt once and they sit out for the rest of the.
Yeah.
Keelan a freaking break. I told you, he freaking hit his head. They were playing football. He went backwards, hit his head on the brick, gash open. He put a little blood. He wiped it. And he was like, "I'm going back outside." I was like, "All right, bro." Like he's definitely.
I thought it would taste like Bruce Lee and get real mad.
Nah, so he'll always run back out there. They just go. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, because they get, you know, in the MMA, when coach lets them go live, them kids start dropping like flies. It's the funniest
word.
shit, bro. It's the
Is there a
funniest
kid in there
shit.
who's like
He's
really
the
nice
kid,
with it?
yeah.
It's just the ages.
Okay.
Or the kids who are taking private lessons. The ones who are taking private, you can tell they're more advanced.
Yeah.
But every time he's like, all right, guys, at the end, the last 10 minutes, he'll be like, we're going to play a game. We're going to go live. Whoever can push this person out of the circle, or, you know, you got to stay on your toes and do head to the tee. The kids just start falling off. And what all they'll do, you got some who will quit, and you got ones like Keelan who will, you know, wipe his tears, you know, by himself, and then
I love that.
go again.
Yeah.
Or he was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He'll go to the bathroom. I
Yeah,
can tell,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
goes, wipes it, and comes back.
That's his thing. Hold on, okay. Fast come back.
When he has to go to the bathroom, I know he's about to go cry.
Yeah.
And
How long is he usually in there for?
It depends until he can get the snot, and then he runs back out, and he does. He just don't want people to see it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah. So he's tough. Like I make fun of him for being like sensitive and stuff, but he's actually like really tough, really.
I felt like that dude. I think you've seen it before. That dude, Jason Wilson, that was like, you know, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
When his videos went viral with the kids like doing karate, it's like I like that because it's like you give the kids, you know, that space to be like, you can even cry here. Where because I'm sure probably there it's different, right? It's like if
There's girls in the class.
That so you have that, so you don't want to cry in front of girls, and then in that like in his class, I'm sure if you laughed at somebody that cried, he gonna be on you.
Right.
But it's like in that particular class, I don't know. Maybe if a kid cried, nobody even probably cares. It's like, or they just be like, we're not.
They get it because it's every time they go live, all of them are crying because they do something wrong, or somebody lands on their neck, or they you know get, like I said, a lot of headbutts because they're goofy. Their coordination's off.
Right.
So they do stuff wrong, or somebody gets stepped on, and they'll cry, and then they just go back out there.
Yeah.
You know, all the parents are there too, so they're like, "You're all right," and the coach kind of giggles because he'll look at us like, "Jesus Christ."
Yeah.
And if too many people, like after like the fourth kid in a row gets hurt, he'd be like, "All right, guys, we're done.
Yeah.
we're moving on."
Yeah, but it's so funny because it is gonna be fascinating when they do become teenagers, where their mentality and even their physical strength is gonna be at. You know, it's just gonna be like after taking these classes for this long, and even their confidence. Because when you take classes like that, and when you box and do MMA, and you know how to, and you've been fighting or whatever with people consistently, your confidence is a different level.
Yeah.
So even at school, when somebody's talking to you in a certain way, it's kind of just like, bro, this nigga don't know I'm about to break this nigga. Like it's just like I don't gotta talk trash. I don't gotta be aggressive. It's just like he's talking like.
The funniest part of them doing all these activities though is starting to see their little muscles form because all they do is do shit.
Yeah.
So like I had Keelan, I had to do 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, 5 squats, 10 calf raises before bed, right? Just to
10
build
what? Calf raises, you said? Okay.
Just to but like I'm watching them, you know, they're always in their drawers, they're never dressed unless the company's over. Niggas never put on clothes. But I'm watching him do his sit-ups and I can see their abs. And I see them in the mirror like, ooh, my muscles. So it's just all the activity. I'll be like, oh, y'all getting y'all little. Like Kendrick came home from school and I was like, I thought something was on his legs. What's wrong? He had a vein all the way up from. I was like, when you get that? He's like, just get my muscles, bro. He's like,
next, my muscles.
Next, I'm gonna get my beard. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're 7.
Then you get these bills.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Come
Yeah,
get them.
That's not what you want.
that video of that dude. Did you see that video of that dude that got his son a beard for like his birthday?
That shit was hilarious.
That was so funny to me, bro.
You gave son what?
He got himself a beard. He's got his son a
Gave
beard.
him the fake beard.
Oh, that's
And it
cool.
edged up everything. It was like he was lining up just like his dad. It was so
so
funny.
funny.
Walking around like.
He said my son wanted a beard, so he got him
That's
the
funny.
fake beard, bro.
That's funny. How long did you rock it for?
I don't know. I
Probably started itching after like a day or two, right?
probably did.
That's funny.
Well, maybe not as bad because for the itching normally comes from the growth back of like your actual hair. So it's like it's the same when I got when I had the man weave. The reason why it was itching so bad after like 2 days because my hair grows back. When you're bald, your hair grows back really fast.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, nigga, I want this off me. But like if
You
you
mean
don't,
the other hair, not the bald. The hair
Right.
around the bald
hair
area.
still grows.
yeah. Well, I mean, I would say for the most part, my hair like it's still my hair just like it's just super thin here, and it just it's thin here, but it still like grows a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like fully bald yet, where it's just like there's nothing there. But it's like, so it still itches everywhere, which sucks. But like for a kid like that, since he doesn't have any facial hair, nothing's ever growing back for him. So
Yeah.
he might be having for like a week and not having any issues, to be honest. But it's just funny to see like my beard's next.
Kids they want to be grown so fast. Like
But was you the same way? I know I was.
I was, yeah. I couldn't wait to get arm. I used to watch my dad like flex his chest or like shave. I'd be like, oh, I can't wait till I shave.
Bro, I don't know if any other kid wanted this, but I remember I wanted to be musty.
Oh, because you knew like
That means you were growing up. So I remember my brother was musty first, and I was like, I played just as hard as him, and I ain't musty yet. And it's like because this is called puberty. Like it's like, that's what this is. I'm growing up. You're still a kid. You can't even stink yet. It was just like, but I can stink. And I wanted to be musty. I remember the first time I got musty, I was like,
I did that. I remember watching. It was Keith or Kyron do it. They were like, I stink, and they were like, yeah. Like they were happy. Big old smile on their face. Oh shit, was it me? I can't remember, but I just remember this and my dad cracking up like, you niggas.
Because it's funny, I guess, maybe because when you're a child, the person you probably look up to the most, or maybe even as a child, who you probably around the most for a while is adults.
Right.
So you want to be like who you're around.
And at the end of the day, that's your guy. That's your heroes. That's your first. So I get it. Like they just watch you see it when they're little. They just watch you.
Yeah.
All they do is watch you. Every move you make, everything you do, they're just watching you.
So when either a child ain't shit or like when a child is, I guess, going down the wrong path, do you look more at the parent being like, yo, like it's because what the parent probably showed them, or the parent didn't show them enough stuff?
That's hard.
Yeah. Because you take my uncles, they all grew up in the same house, and my mom and my aunties all have degrees. They all went to college. They all did. My uncles both in the game.
But
It's
the
different
for
girls
and guys, I can't compare that.
It's different for girls.
Because you have gang banging,
but look at all
pulling
people,
guys more
look
than.
at people with siblings. One guy went this way and one went that way. Same house.
What if I'm saying, when it comes to like stuff, I always wonder like, what was, was it the? Because I know for me, sometimes I struggled where being and I don't know, because it's different for like I think Gary and I, because we're both younger siblings, right? You're younger sibling, right?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if you see something, especially if and maybe not in your case, but if your older siblings getting praised for some things, and then you're not getting praised the same, or you're not good at that, and you're not getting praised the same, so it could take a toll on that kid being like, oh, I'm not as good as him, or be like, you know what? I don't want to be like him, so I'm gonna go the opposite way of him. He's a goody two shoes. I'm gonna be this person over here, and that's how they might even get attention from that. That's how they got the attention. Did you ever feel that way growing up, being like?
I've seen some dark shit, and I had a pretty good understanding early on that both my sister's life was kind of fucked up, and then my brother's life, he didn't make like a lot of like great decisions. Really smart, had a lot of potential. And you know what kind of opened me up too? I was watching that Dear Mama documentary, and Tupac being a year older than my brother, and going back to and thinking like how my brother looked, because my brother resembled Tupac in a lot of ways, and then my brother also had like his nose pierced and shit. And I was like thinking like the influence that Tupac like maybe had like on him in a way, because my brother was a fucking hothead for almost like no reason. Yeah. But then we go back and I talked to some of my like mentors, and it was like he's always kind of been that way, like always had a chip on his shoulder.
When I
was a kid, like at 9 or 10, I think I was like 10. My brother like went to jail for like assault with a deadly weapon. He like beat the shit out of this white dude on the bus. And so I had no idea, like, what do you mean like 6 months to a kid? Like 6 months is like, this nigga's gone forever, you know? And I just remember like not seeing him for hella long, like. And I was used to my dad not being around, but my brother not. My brother's 11 years older than me, so I'm 10. He's like 20 at the time. Yeah. So it was like hard to compute. And then he came home and shit, but he was like always a fucking like hothead. Always got into issues with the police. Always like really indignant. Like always wanted to like, fucking like not show out, but just kind of like one up the police or like tell them in ways like, oh, why you know, one of like, why you pulling me over? Like one of those. He was one of those niggas always getting beat up by the police. Always nigga was. I remember one time he came home, nigga had got maced by the police, and shit. I'm like, this nigga always has encounters with the fucking police. I'm like, dude, what is it? Like, you know, so that stuff. And then my brother had like, you know, issues with women and like, you know, domestic violence type stuff. And I like used to just see a lot of shit, and girls who would come around would be like, don't ever be like your brother, you know. And then even that's why I was asking you, have you had like a moment with your, you know, with your parent that would like really, you know, shaped you in your
I mean,
frame of
domestic
thinking
violence
stuff.
also, yeah.
But one time I just came home, my brother like, because you know he was in and out of the house getting kicked out, you know, that type of shit, and we shared a room and shit. But
11 years apart.
Yeah,
He probably was like.
he was like 21,
Yeah.
I was like 11, yeah. But you know, it's also like, you know, you gotta 21, then you clubbing, you trying to get pussy and all the shit.
Yeah.
You got your little brother in the room, you fucking bitches while thinking he's asleep, and I'm, you know, all this shit. But like sneaking bitches into the
over there
house at
looking like-
21, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, mama ruled, get the fuck out, like, and then, you know, so I was in his car, and he had like a moment, because he, you know, he talked with like a force and a real like just firm, like he was just like basically like, and it was one of the few moments where I seen him kind of like be a little more vulnerable. But he was like, nigga, he was basically like, nigga, don't ever like fuck up, don't fuck up the way that I fucked up. Make sure like you do this and this. And he was like, because he's like, you fuck up one time and mama not gonna love you no more.
God damn.
Ooh.
He's like, you fuck up one time, mama not gonna love you no more. So he was always like vying for my mom's love. And it was weird too, because they're only 17 years apart. You know what I'm saying? So that nigga's like 50 now, and my mom's like 67. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, and that shit like really like
Do you
stuck
think
with
that's
me.
how you felt?
I think he struggles to this day with like the love and how tough my mom was on him versus like the way that she treats me and the way that she tried to save my sister. So, and he always felt like he was kind of
Like she
trying to kind of in your role of being like almost like a fatherly type figure, because they were so close in age, and he and my sister were like 6 years apart, and it was all like centered around my sister, because she had such like a hard life and she started running away at like 12 and 13 just in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my brother trying to protect her from like the street niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like being turned out and like, you know, all this it's a lot. It's a lot of shit. And then my mother like not understanding like how things like, you know, unfolded the way that they did, but then my brother also being like this very strong personality in the house. So it's like my mom's battling that, and my mom's also a strong personality. So it's like two alphas like butting heads, and then my sister's like absent and just like trying to fucking find her like all throughout the city, like at any given time.
You're just in the corner, like,
dude. I'm just like, and I'm just in the corner. Yeah, I'm just like playing with toys and shit, just like
just
you
chaos.
know, I'm just really just trying not to cause problems, but I'm
Right.
lashing out in my world,
Right.
you know, amongst my kids with bullying and like, you know, so, but I always, you know, I was never stupid. So I say that. I was always like, you know, I always had my school shit in terms of like grades and stuff, because I never wanted to get yelled at. Nigga, the force of my mother's like, it was just like, dude, it was just like fucking like, I would just whimper. Just like the thought. I would rather get a whooping, nigga, than get yelled at by my mom.
Man.
Because that shit was like, her voice, bro. Niggas, bro, like, girls will be so fucking terrified of like, and you know, you bring a girl home, like I bring a girl home, because my brother brought a lot of women home, so it was nothing for me to like bring a fucking 16-year-old girl like home to meet my mom. Like it was like not a thing.
Yeah.
But girls, even girls, mom.
When you were 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no,
Yeah.
because somebody's gonna be like, wait, nigga, what?
Yeah, so girls are always like terrified of moms, because just the way her voice, just the way she speaks, and you know.
Man, that nigga said she ain't gonna love you no more.
Yeah, that
He,
shit.
that
shit,
mean that's how he felt.
that shit stuck with me.
That's deep. And I
how
mean,
you
for the
felt.
things that stuck with me, it was domestic abuse too. It was like I saw my mom get like like beat naked in front of us, and
Oh, shit.
and that scarred me for life. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I was like, domestic violence will never ever happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to a point, and that point too was just like, I'm gonna get this nigga back one day.
Mm.
I have to. That when we ended up fighting our dad, part of that thought was in my head for sure when that happened.
This is for Ma.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, he he probably be like, hey man, she was on crack and she stole a whole bunch of shit from the house. So that would probably be his justification, right? But still, at the time, I don't understand that.
Right.
I know this is my mom. This is the person who I felt at the time that I love more than you because you used to beat me and you were an alcoholic. My mom was as a son. A lot of times, that's your mommy. So it's just
Yeah.
like, you just have a different connection to her.
Totally, and protective.
And
naturally.
protective, and it's
Yeah.
like you couldn't protect her. So it's like
Yeah.
we're two boys, and we're just screaming. I could see the whole thing in like that living room, and we're screaming like, "Stop! Like, please stop!" And just he had like
I'm sorry. I just in my mind I was like, what could you do to like get him to stop? I was like,
Just
in
nothing,
my mind I was
nothing.
like, stop before I shit on the floor. Just to pivot. Just
that
to-
would have did that would all you would have did was like kicked us and made us clean it up afterwards. But probably at that
I would
time.
have rubbed your face in it like
No,
a dog.
yeah, and honestly, at that time, that might have been the energy
Right.
for real.
Yeah.
So it was like, my dad, like I saw it like pistol whip, like my mom before. So it's like you gotta understand something. Seeing all that stuff as a kid,
Was she like stealing from him?
from the house at that time, she was on crack. So yes, it was stuff that was being missing from the house. So it was just like, when I saw my mom
Why
get
did she steal the pistol?
to sell it. I don't know. But it's just like,
Steal the gun?
You gotta think.
Yeah.
But at that time, I don't even know if she knew where it was.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I saw my mom get dragged out by her hair naked as a child, and that is like you never forget that. There's nothing in life that can ever make me forget
Yeah.
that. So in my head, it's like that changed the trajectory of like, and that could have went the wrong way. I think that could have put my mentality like, oh, this is how you
Man,
treat
bro.
women. I could have been like, this is how you treat women.
Right, you could have.
Yeah, and that's why every time it's like, yeah, I might raise my voice, but anytime I see like even like if the girl that I'm with, if they're getting too riled up, I'll be like, all right, because I don't ever want to get there.
Right.
And it was
Yeah.
like, and I make this part of like my joke a little bit. It's like it's one of the reasons why I didn't drink, because it's like, oh, I thought drinking made you an abuser. Yeah, it's like the joke, but it's like I don't want to be called cognac Keenan. It's like, oh, nigga, it's like when I drink, it's
Cognac.
Oh, yeah, cognac. That's what I said, cognac.
Okay.
Cognac Keenan. This nigga.
I'm so petty. It's so fucking stupid.
This nigga's a child,
so
bro.
dumb. In the moments of like, he's real meaningful conversation. I'm like, you mean cognac?
You know what's funny? I feel like
But we can't help it. Like I'm like, why did she steal the gun?
Yeah. I feel like Gary has never. I'm not saying you haven't, but I feel like you haven't got over the moment when when Gary was talking about his dad. I'm just like, what did he?
Because he loves drugs.
So he like drug more than you? And I feel like Gary is like, nigga, I'll never let this nigga live this down. Any chance I'm coming for him.
That shit was
No, that
so
shit was
funny.
funny. That
This
shit was
nigga.
funny.
I was like, because I felt like Gary
yeah.
was taking little shots here and there. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, this is the dynamic of the podcast.
Yeah, that's
for
funny
fun.
though. That was
But that's
funny.
I feel like
though.
that's how dudes it can't be deep 100%.
But you're gonna find a joke in
It
there.
Yeah.
has to. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to get the joke off.
It's understandable.
It's like- and all the shit that pops in your head when somebody's talking,
Yeah.
even though they're dead ass.
Yeah.
I remember this nigga was telling me about he was fighting his brother about, and nigga, I'm dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so like, was y'all tussling? Or like,
Yeah.
what was he was like, nigga, we're fighting outside. It's a real story, nigga.
No, he's fighting me.
And I
and I'm
just-
like trying to
I don't have
restrain
jokes.
him.
I just have jokes in my head.
Yeah.
So, like, this should be funny.
Because I mean, when you're outside looking in, you can do that too. And even when you're inside looking in, sometimes you can find it funny and be like, all right, that was younger. And it's just like, I found jokes about my mom with drugs and stuff like that too now, which I couldn't, because I remember somebody was like, you don't talk about your mom on stage at all.
so crazy.
And I was just like, right now, it's not. I can't make it funny to me right now because it
Yeah.
was still sensitive to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, nah, I'm finding the funny in this shit now, and it's been hilarious. But it's just like, it took time because like my dad, I feel like I could because it's like, yo, you fucked us up. So you getting these jokes. Whereas I felt more bad for my mom. Where I felt like the drugs were more in control than she was, and I was like, and my mom's also sensitive. Like she'd be like, yo, make a joke about me, but then I'm like, all right, I got a crack joke about you. She'd be like, hey, I didn't mean that type
Yeah.
of joke. Like, no, that hurts. You know.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of like, it took me time to even get to that point.
You know what's crazy too? Just our experiences and how different they are. Like you talking about your mother being like strung out on drugs. I can't even like comprehend that.
For your mom?
Because my mom was so fucking strong and so like anti-drug, like she didn't drink. not like she was the square person. Like all of her friends and all of her circle got like hooked on drugs.
Yeah.
And she was like she's literally the only one.
Well, yeah, I even when I talked to my mom a little bit, she opened up a little bit about it, but I think she kind of might have dabbled when she was a little bit younger. And there's other issues in there, like, you know, it's like, it's issues from, I think, you know, my mom was the youngest at one point, and then I think like maybe like a year or some change later, like they had my other aunt, and I think that took a toll on her because now she was the baby, and now my mom became essentially the middle child.
Okay.
And I feel like there became issues. My mom had issues with my aunt for like no reason. My aunt was like, "But you're my big sister," whereas my mom was just like, "I don't really like you like that."
Yeah.
And not fully, but that was
Yeah.
the energy anyways.
Yeah.
Women are, I mean, and that's just a girl thing, and girls
Right,
are
and that can,
very,
and for me, you know,
we're middle child.
I don't know if my brother ever felt that way about me. I would have to ask him and ask him deeply, but you know,
Nah, if there was only two of you guys, probably not.
yeah, yeah, probably not. So it's just like, you know, because at the end of it, he has the oldest being the adult
Right.
figure in the thing.
You would have had a thing if you had another one in the house.
Most likely probably would have.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, I think with that also plays a part with the you know, probably the lack of attention and XYZ, and then she dabbled probably I think late teens, maybe early 20s, and then it just came back too. And my older aunt did too. The oldest aunt that I had, she used to do it too. So it was just like, and they were close.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
That's interesting because it was said that my aunt introduced my sister to, or her aunt introduced her into
drugs?
like drugs and shit.
And
So
it's,
yeah, it's interesting.
and it's like, yeah, and you know, my dad, alcoholism was in his family. It's like his dad was a drinker. I think he saw it from uncles. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's what he saw growing up. That's what you did. And
I wonder if there is a difference, like statistically, how that dynamic changes if there's a young girl in the house. Like it was you and your brother.
yeah.
If anything would have changed if you had like a younger sister in the house.
Well, I mean, when my
girl.
dad got remarried, there was a younger girl.
Oh, was a girl in the house
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was like,
And he was still like the way he was?
yeah, she saw all that shit.
Damn.
She saw. That's where the jumping happened with her there. That's when the fighting happened. A lot of the actual beatings happened a lot when she was living with us too.
Wow.
They were already married at that point.
Where's she now?
I'm not even sure. She was in Vegas at one point, and then
How's her like life? Is she
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how great it is now, but there was issues for sure because you know she was also adopted too.
hold on, so she was adopted by your father's
Dad's wife.
wife?
Yes.
Okay.
So that lady, she adopted her, but treated her like trash from my visual standpoint.
Jesus.
And maybe because it's like, yo, I saved your life, so I can kind of treat you the way I want to treat you. But like when I used to be in there, and I used to just hear like she'd be up to like you talk about Wakila and homework. And this is what messes me up with stuff like that. It's like she'll be up to like 1 o'clock in the morning, and this lady was like a principal at the time, right? And so the girl, she wouldn't understand the homework. So instead of like helping her, she's like, "Why don't you get it, stupid? You dumb dingleberry!" Like, and she would like smack her. And I'll be in my room, and I'll hear a thud hit her in the back, like oosh, because you hear the hollowness of like a bat getting hit. And it's just like, this is a young girl. It's like, you're destroying. I don't think she understood that she's destroying her.
Hold on, you saying the woman was a principal at the time?
She was principal at a school at two schools, at two child development centers at the time.
Child development, nigga.
One was a school, and then one was a child development center. Because I ended up working for one of her schools.
How what was the age difference between you and the girl?
Like 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe.
So you were like what, like in middle school and she was in elementary?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, for sure. It was like we were in middle school, she was in elementary, and or even early high school, and that was when they were just living, like they were kind of just staying with us, or they'll be spending a night because sometimes they stay over.
Okay.
And then once they got married, we had moved into a new house.
The five of you.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
she was like, she was 6 because I was with my brother too. Right
Yeah.
there.
Well,
That's
three
fine.
kids,
Two
three
parents,
kids
two
to a
kids.
kid.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You see, the
Nigga
math.
said he was bad.
Stupid, man. This nigga stupid.
I see why your brother's mad.
Idiot. So like, so because I was trying to make sure, I was like, am I missing somebody?
Yeah.
I was thinking, was I
Yeah.
missing somebody? So like, when I was seeing
only one number, bro.
But like, so seeing that growing up with her, and I was just like, so I add that to the dynamic of my dad. She was raised in domestic abuse too.
Yeah.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
seen it. So for her, this is normal. So,
Man.
you know, and then my dad would whoop her too at times.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, she had issues where she was like, you know, hiding and going to boys' house when she wasn't supposed to,
Right.
and you know, they'll try to, you know, her mom would try to embarrass him, like, you know what, you're gonna wear a school uniform to school, even though our school didn't require that. It's like, cause you wanna get this grade, and so I'm gonna embarrass you, and you're gonna wear a school uniform. And of course, maybe the first time she did it, but I remember there was times where I would walk outside the school because we were going to different schools at the time, and we'll go, and I would see her grab like a trash bag where her real clothes were. So she'll walk to school in a school uniform, and then she'll change. But then her mom had like, so she's a principal, she had spies at the school, and so she'd be like, so how was school? Great. How was that? I heard you got a few compliments on that pink top that you wore.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? And her
Yeah.
mom has, and even when she eventually came to my school, her mom had spies at my school because there was a girl that my brother used to date, and I found out it was her. She would tell everything that was going on. She's like, you know, I heard you was kissing your little girlfriend by the bungalows today, and I was just like, for me, I was just like, and so it's my girlfriend. I don't like,
Right.
I can say that, but like, so,
Yeah.
but like to me, I was just like, that's corny to me. But like, you know, that particular person, she changed a lot of her. There was moments for her too where she changed shit in our family. She turned like, my dad was already fucked up, but then I feel like she was like, yeah, she was paying Geppetto and turning him against us too, using manipulating. You know, we always say men manipulate women. Women manipulate men all the time too.
With them fried edges, baby.
Yeah, nigga.
They got them fried edges.
I was up early
I
this
ain't gonna lie
morning
to you.
doing
I ain't gonna lie
laundry.
to you, man. This is weird to say, but I'm gonna fucking say it. I don't think that girl pussy was that good. My dad's
dad's
ex,
what?
yeah, I don't think it was. For him to be tripping out like that, I don't think it was. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her visually. I'm like, that shit looked like it was trash. I could be wrong. She has some big titties, but like,
But all pussy is good. There's no such thing as bad unless it's like clinically like
Yeah,
bad.
the actual vagina
Yeah.
is always going to be good. It's the person.
Yeah.
right.
What they know, if they do, if they're lazy, if they're, you know.
I've had.
I mean,
I've
You've
had
had subpar.
I've had
I've
subpar.
had some mid.
I've had some subpar vagina for sure.
I've had some, but
And it maybe could have been me. You know, girls gonna say in the comment section, well, maybe you just turn on enough. Could be the case.
I didn't say dry. I just said
no,
mid.
just men. But I don't know. I don't think I've
Not
had.
all of them feel amazing. You know,
Right.
some just grip just
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some just, you be like, what is this?
Yeah, but some tell, well, women tell you too, like, and I you know, some women were trying to say, like, you know, even sometimes the looser a girl is because she's open. It's like,
Oh, yeah. She's,
you know, that's a good thing. Is if she's looser, it's because you probably got her hornier than she's been in a while. Or
Yeah, and
just-
it
just
elongates and it
You
it
completely
fills with
open.
it swells.
Yeah.
but it's
So-
just like, but some of them are just.
That's actually something that I learned. Not learned, but like something I've like explored. Because before I would be like, I'm not fingering her because I want my dick to be the first thing inside. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then later on, I learned even like while I would go down, I would you know, you go down and you use your fingers and shit too. But then there would be times where I'll intentionally not use my fingers and just go down on her and let my dick be the first thing inside of her. But then later I'm like, no, it's better if I finger her as I'm going down
I
on her.
personally like it more open.
Yeah,
I
I'm learning
like
that.
more
I'm
room to
learning
operate.
that. I'm
Yeah.
learning that.
I don't like the snuff.
I'm
Yeah,
learning that. The snug,
Yeah,
the
it's
super
like,
snug.
I don't like that. It
Yeah,
hurts.
to me, I mean, it's moments for me.
hurts.
It's moments for me. It's like sometimes, like when it's that loose, it just feels like it's like damn, you just because you hear it, it's like you just hear the sound of it sounding crazy. It's like this is crazy
Yeah, it's
right now.
crazy. Yeah.
And then it's just like, and now that I know the mentality of that's what it is, it's like, all right, I like it more because it's like it's kind of an ego thing. It's like she's completely turned on. But also when it's like when a girl can kegel or grip a little bit, that doesn't bother me either.
No, not the. But it's like sometimes I just like I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't want the struggle,
Uh-huh.
the soft wait. You know,
Yeah.
I want to
You
get in
just wanna
sometimes.
go.
Yeah,
You just wanna go.
And sometimes it's like, man, nah. So I would rather start with the oral Cause I want that shit so I can be in there
Yeah.
off the top
Yeah.
rope. You know what I mean? Like,
When it comes to like who I'm with partner wise, girlfriend or wife, it's just like I essentially normally do oral first anyways. Like 'cause I want to 100% make sure you get yours,
and honestly, I like it.
and I like it, and
I like it.
I like pleasing my
I'm a
lady.
pleaser.
Yeah, I'm a pleaser.
You know, I was talking about this, I think last night, of the misconception I had early on, like pretty early on, and I learned, but I thought girls with big clits, like you had to be more aggressive because
With the clit or just sex?
with the clit,
Because it was so
because
big.
it was so big.
Nigga,
You gotta
yank it.
you gotta lick that motherfucker. It's like no, it's actually more sensitive because
Right.
it's exposed.
It's- yeah,
yeah, it took. It's,
swollen
I had
as
to
shit.
like learn. I had to learn that.
I remember the first time I seen a big clit, I was like, ew.
Oh word.
It was like
I didn't say ill, but I thought something was wrong.
yeah, I was just like because every girl
okay,
that I was messing with
okay.
had like well, not every girl, but most girls that I was messing with had a pretty ass pussy.
Hold on. It's like, hold on. How dare you shave this? How dare you just leave this just out in the
I
world?
thought something was wrong.
No,
I was
no,
like,
it wasn't even from a shaving standpoint. It was just like I said, it was a bigger clit because a lot of girls that I was messing with at the time, they have like because I was like pussy's beautiful, like it's the most beautiful looking thing. And then I started to, of course, the older I got, so I saw ugly ass vaginas. I saw vaginas.
Wait, what's an ugly vagina? What's
Just-
that look like?
It's a whole lot going on down there, maybe.
not
You know what I'm saying?
That's ugly. Visually.
Visually, it's not appealing anyway.
all vaginas
aesthetic.
Or
are
appealing.
visually.
And I understand women are just like, well, you can't. It's like you can say whatever you want.
You
but
talking
it's
about like the ones that's like a bunch of that, and then just like a
And
bunch of
just
cottage
just a
cheese,
massacre.
chitlins, just like a lot of
goddamn
lasagnas.
shit show down there.
Shit show. You call it a shit show.
I mean,
some of it looks like it's like it's pastrami'd out or it's train wreck. But it's like like when I first saw like the big clip, I was like what, like you said, I thought something like she either had an infection
I thought something.
or it was like something that's like swole up. It was like a bad thing.
Did I still hit it? Of course.
Of course, but at that point, from a going down her, eating her out standpoint, I'm just like, I'm not doing this. And
Whoa.
then from a sex standpoint, it's like I said, I still got the job done after that. And then
You just didn't know.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, we
didn't
didn't
know.
know, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like maybe like 21.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm still seeing different vaginas at that time. At this particular point, I've probably seen most.
Do you think we should be
vaginas.
exposed to different types of vaginas, like earlier on, to be a
Like in
little more,
class?
to be more sensitive? Because she's probably insecure about that herself.
Well, luckily I didn't go
say
ill.
Which, if you're insecure about it, like at least have hair surrounding it, so it's not just like
I'd
out
rather
there.
not hair be around it because it's making it look funnier to me. But like, for me,
Now it looks like a mustache.
yeah, it's just like
a big nose.
exactly. A nigga knows he was just doing this.
Just show it to me. Don't hide it. Reveal yourself.
Reveal yourself. But it's like, yeah, at this particular point, no, I think some of us need that just that actual real experience, and then
Pussy sensitivity training.
nah, 'cause, I mean, it's the same with them. It's like some girls they get shocked by probably uncircumcision. So it's like if a girl. This girl's been like, yo, they see a difference the first time. It was like, yo, or so I remember girls back when I was younger. It's like, if you got that extra skin on it, nigga, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't sucking. I don't suck extra skin. And I used to be like, damn, like that's crazy. So it's
Which
just
is
like,
interesting because it's not extra skin. It's just the skin.
It's just
Yeah. It's not a. We
But
didn't
we
add
didn't know.
more
We
skin
didn't-
onto it.
it's
We didn't
skin
know.
tree,
You
yeah.
don't know that because everybody's circumcised, so you didn't
Yeah.
know. Like I remember,
Right.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either.
And then I had a friend who was complaining. He was like, I was like, what's wrong? He was like,
You can sit on his foreskin.
yeah. No, he didn't sit on it. He was like, we were hooping, and he said like,
on
he said it gets.
He sat on his foreskin.
He said it gets tangled.
His balloon tie. This is extra. Oh
He said it gets
shit.
tangled sometimes, and I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm not circumcised. And I
He
remember
said he just tapes it.
it
The
gets tangled.
tingles.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I had to go like and look at what I don't even know. I was like, what is that? Yeah, I had to
How
go
old
look
were
at what
you?
that. Nigga, I was like middle school, high school.
Okay.
And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. And then I remember the first time I saw one in a porn, I was like, oh, so when it's out, they all look the same.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
limp, it's a whole. You
Yeah.
put the hoodie on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Which makes sense. Like, let me get out of here. I don't need to be out here. Oh
The
man.
things we learn over time. There should be. I think there should be though. There
Yeah,
should,
pussy
I think.
sensitivity
class?
I think in sex ed they should go into more details, like show different types of
I think-
penises,
But-
different types of vaginas, different
Yeah.
types of, just to get it out the.
I mean, you already
Let
showed
it happen
them.
in class because nobody you know personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just do that, and then we're gonna laugh.
Yeah, we're gonna
and
laugh,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
and all that
yeah.
shit. But now you've seen it.
You've seen
so
it,
You're,
yeah.
it's over. Like
This is healthy. These are all healthy.
right, and you make the jokes and all that. Like I remember on the diagrams they always have. I don't know why they had that. They always had the balls lower than the shaft in the diagrams. Like it was always like that.
What do you mean?
When you would look at the diagrams in class, they would always have the balls, and the shaft was always shorter than the ball.
yeah.
Big balls.
Yeah, it was always, they were super long in the short shaft. And I remember we were in 8th grade, and one of the kids raised his hand. He's like, "Yo, why does it always look like that?" And the teacher was like, "That's how they look." And everybody in class was like, "No."
Yeah.
He was like, "Yes, they do." And then we was like, and then somebody was like, "Oh, he got a small dick."
Somebody said it out loud? Oh, man. Destroyed
teacher
that
was
teacher, bro.
Livid.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Why
we were like,
dismissed?
we were like, well, yeah, because it don't look like that for us, bro.
Yeah.
And, like that shit was hella funny.
I remember my 7th grade science teacher told us that a penis is only 3 to 4 inches. Like she literally told us that.
Unflaccid or
I don't know. She didn't get into the specifics,
Details?
but I remember it was like, I got something for you, Miss Kirshner. Like on the low, Miss Kirshner, I got something for you. If you trying to see me, like, because
Oh, that's all you know is 3 or 4?
She had some big ass. I mean, I had a huge crush on that teacher. She
Yeah,
had
hilarious.
gigantic titties, and she was white. So
We know you loved her, Gary. You didn't like any of your black teachers?
I look right at Keenan when I say that. Yeah, she was white.
You didn't like any of your black teachers?
I didn't have a lot of black teachers.
Many black teachers.
I had a couple. They were all like old. Miss Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was such a fucking asshole because she was like old school and she was trying to teach me like manners and etiquette. She's like, no, you say Miss Jones. You
Yeah.
say yes, Miss Jones, and then I just took that shit and I ran with everything. It was like yes, Miss Jones, just making a mockery of it.
Yeah.
Get your mom on the phone. I had to call my mom in front of the whole class. Yes, Miss Jones. I was a fucking asshole, bro.
I mean, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
That's why it's so interesting when Keenan talks. It's like how, anybody can go this way or that way, depending on he could, like my dad, for instance, he could have been an asshole too, but because he was never told I love you, he was overly affectionate with us. So he could have been an asshole too, but he decided, nah, you guys are always gonna know you're loved because I never got that shit.
Right.
Versus, like Keenan was like, I'll never touch a woman because that's what he
Yeah.
saw growing up. But there's plenty of people who's like, well, this is what I saw growing up, so it's okay to I backhand the fuck at you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Which one?
That old dude, the one I sent you. Don't play with me, bitch. I backhand the fuck at you.
Yeah.
Fuck at you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there are things. I've always questioned everything. Like even now, I have to like combat my mom or just any adult like in a space with kids having adult conversations and gossiping like adults and the kids hearing all that shit.
Right.
I'm like, and I'm trying to check like, yo, stop having like adult conversations in front of like fucking kids. They're just
Yeah.
absorbing all that information.
Yeah.
All the shit that you're talking about people and
Right.
this person and family and this and that, like they're just taking all that shit in.
That's how we used to like function. Like when we used to go to our friend's house, our friend Glenn. Like my mom would go over there, would take us over there, and that was their thing. They'll go, they'll drink, and they'll just be talking stuff. And that's when we used to explore, and as we hop the gates and the walls and stuff like that. But at a point in time, we had to be in the house at a certain time. They'll be smoking, drinking. And I mean, that's one of the times when I had a beer. What was that? Was it Red Dog? Was that
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog,
Was
2020.
it Mad Dog 20? But there's
Yeah.
another one. Wasn't it one that had a red dog on it too?
A Red Dog?
Yeah. It was
Oh, that was
I forgot what it was
It
called.
was a beer.
Yeah, that was one of the first beers I cracked open because we stole it and we was like, yo, we got one. I remember they was like, hey, one of these beers, these goddamn kids must have got a beer. But we was in there listening to adult conversations about how dudes ain't shit and
Right.
and
Yeah.
how like the way they were talking about men and their ex-husbands and whatever the case may
Keenan
be.
was like, see, this is why y'all get beat.
Trauma
Y'all talking shit.
But too, and then like I remember when I found
bonding.
Bro, I remember when I was a kid, I found my mom, she had these pictures of them at a male strip club, and I'm so happy that at least the pictures that I found, my mom wasn't doing anything crazy, but my friends' moms, yo, laying on the ground, slapped with the dick.
Oh, wow.
Like the dick, like not the bare dick, but you know how they had whatever, it's like a cushion, whatever that's over it. That was like in their mouth and on their face and being like wiggled around. I was sitting there, I was looking like, and I was just so glad. Like my mom was like, having like a good time, like the tongue out. But luckily there was no pictures of her that she might have had somewhere else.
Yeah.
No pictures of her doing that stuff. I was like, that would have probably fucked me up for life.
I saw pictures of my mom. Naked. I think I seen naked pictures of my mom, like
man.
like snooping around in the room and shit.
Like Polaroid.
Yeah, like Polaroids. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That I think were like intended for. She had a couple like jail niggas like back in the day.
Your dad?
My mom has horrible choice and she chooses horrible men.
Did she meet?
They were cool dudes. Like it was a couple dudes. Like they were cool. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a couple jail niggas that she was fucking with.
I would say too. My mom for the most part didn't.
But
choose the best
I
one.
actually like, and it was like kind of in like a negligee type of thing, and I was like kind of happy for her, I guess, in a weird way, where like it allowed it like I saw her in her feminine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
you always saw her.
I've
kind of
always
masculine.
seen her like as a strong like presence, a masculine. So it's like, oh, my mom's like a girl almost. Yeah, it was
Gotcha.
interesting.
That's interesting as hell. Naked pictures. Yeah, I agree with you on the kids talking, and like we're very cognizant now too because we were out one day and Cotty was like trying to tell me about this woman's booty, and she goes, Keelan, blah blah blah, and Keelan was right there and he goes, inappropriate. I started laughing. I was like, what? He's like, Mom talking about this lady's butt, and you're talking about this lady's butt. Inappropriate.
That's funny.
And we were like, all right. So it was just funny, like, all right, I was like, all right, so they're listening, like, we'll chill, we'll talk, blah, blah. And then his new thing is language. So, like,
language.
like, language.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so funny.
Language is
That's
so funny. to me.
so
That's so
funny.
funny.
Language.
That's good.
Because Kendrick is very a stickler for, I mean, everything's a bad word. Shut up, blah, blah. Kendrick be like, oh. And
Yeah.
Keelan just be like, language.
It's probably really fun for him too, because it's
Oh.
like they can reverse, it's like a little reversal.
Yeah, they love
More
it.
parenting
But it's
you.
like, honestly, we were like, all right, fair enough. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do the language thing. Like now, when Pilot cusses, because he'll go like on little cussing fits, from probably shit he's like learned at daycare or whatever, or he'll catch Jess say some shit and then he'll like say it. We just ignore him.
yeah.
Like we don't pay any attention to it at all. And then he'll stop. He'll say it like 2 times and then he'll stop.
Yeah.
He didn't get any reaction. He'll just
Right.
stop and go
Right.
on to the next thing.
I
But
mean,
when
still
you're like,
little.
you stop saying that, you can't say that, and then
Yeah.
they start doing that shit more just to
Yeah.
get a rise.
Oh, because you don't want me to say it? Nah, I gotta say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just be like, fuck, and we just be like,
Just ignore him?
Put that milk in the fridge, and, and then that nigga just stops.
Yeah. What do you think? Where do you get it from?
I don't know. I swear sometimes.
Yeah.
Jess, I think she swears when it's just because she's white, so she's overwhelmed. But she'll. I think she'll. I think she has moments where she's like, where she'll kind of. Because he said, I'm sick of this. Like,
Yeah.
she said that a couple times,
Yeah.
and she's like, I think he got that from me.
You know what? Janelle and I literally had this conversation the other day about like, because we mimic each other all the time. We make fun of each other. When somebody goes, like we'll do that a lot.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And
yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
And we just die laughing, right? And I remember she stopped one time. She was like, "When we have children, we can't do this shit." She's like, I said, "I'm gonna drop kick this little nigga." But we go, "What you have?" She's like, "I'm not gonna be the handle with a child doing that to me." So she's like, we're gonna have to try to get that kind of in order, especially at least when I get pregnant, like to like relax on that because we do it like every single day, probably like 50 times a day that we
Yeah.
It's fun.
And it's
fun.
fun,
It's a lot of
bro.
fun.
It's so funny because it's like we never take it serious. It's like you say something like, she'll be like, "That was a good one." She's like, "All right, it's 3 p.m. I got your ass. I got the rest of the day to get your ass."
Preferred place to bust a nut.
Wherever they tell me.
So you ask.
See, I was prepared for that because
You ask.
no, I expressed that. Just tell me where. I don't care.
Tell me where.
Just tell me
Okay.
where. And I'm
All right.
shooting hard, like hard. bah. You know, you could be like elbow. I'm like, you fucking elbow, bitch.
Wait, are you grabbing the elbow like, yeah, you fucking
Oh,
elbow?
absolutely.
Ah, on the elbow.
Absolutely. I'm like, you fucking whore ass elbow. Like,
It's always a slut, huh? It's always a fucking
poor bitch slut. When it's time for the nut, you ain't shit. Like, you ain't shit.
Are you in the moment like you said, whore ass slut? Then after you bust, I fucking love you. Are you that?
Nah.
Oh,
No.
A lot of
I love
times,
you, baby.
honestly, after I bust, it's usually laughter after that.
Okay.
Because either I'm laughing at myself or she's laughing because something that's so ridiculous has
Yeah,
happened.
it's-
And now that you're like done, it's
Busting
like,
on the elbow is
this
ridiculous.
is
For
ridiculous.
damn sure.
This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Why'd you bring that?
We were talking about it in the car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorites?
Keenan's
I always
preferred
say I'm a facial guy. It's
Okay.
because I was saying, the conversation came from like like pull out game and like busting inside a chick, and I was like
Just pull out
I ain't
games
gotta do
always-
that no more, guys.
I was like for me the reason why I never necessarily had a pull out problem is because my preferred method of busting was busting on a girl's face or inside her mouth, and not even from like when I say busting her mouth, I know this is getting graphic, but it's just like the pull out busting the mouth. Like I want to see it go in your mouth, your tongue open, mouth open, and go inside
That's
your
from
mouth.
porn.
Yeah,
We all get that from porn.
for sure from porn. And so
I
that
think you got it from the issues that you had in your household as a child.
Well, you was
The
watching porn
trauma.
at age
I mean,
3.
I didn't walk in on nothing like that, my nigga. Like,
Yeah, but it all manifests
I don't
in
even. I
different
probably,
ways. It manifests in
But like for me, that's why too. Because every time I always wanted to pull out the bust on a girl's face. That was my thing. It was like, all right, when I'm, niggas be like, I can't pull out. I was like, nigga, I was like, nah, I'm about to pull out. It's like an eye on your face. And I was like, second was always the girl's asshole. Like, girl spreading her asshole and busting on like the asshole. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the face. Is it what do you think about like your nut and her face? Like, are you like, do you feel like you're defacing her face or like this beautiful portrait and you're just like
I look at it as more
you're just like graffitiing and all over her shit like the Mona Lisa. You just fucking just.
I don't look at it as degrading or nothing like that. I just look at it as like I like nastiness. I like I say all the time, disgusting. It's like I like being disgusting with the person that I'm with, and that's disgusting to me. And I want her to enjoy that and be like this. Like we were discussing tonight.
Why is it disgusting and not beautiful?
There's nothing beautiful.
It's
about it.
beautiful. It's beautifully disgusting to me. There you go. Like it's to me, it's just like it's not like it's like it's art, but it's just like you fucking just so nasty.
Fucking nasty
I
whore.
love it.
Or
Is it a because you let me do this to you? You're a fucking slut.
not even let me. If you want it, you're even more.
You
you're
wanting
even
it?
more of a whore.
You
Now
like
it's
when if
coming even harder.
a girl goes bust on my face, nut on my face. If a girl says that, I'm just like, oh
bro.
wow.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
but they
hold
can
on.
say that anywhere. I don't care. Like if they
Yeah.
tell me like do it like there.
Yeah, I still
I'm just like,
it's still prefer the face, of course. But like it's now it's like if it's like yo busting my ass, I'm still like all right, like it's cool. Right now, like we're trying for a kid, so there's no pulling out. But it's just like
You could pull out and put it back in. What if you now manually take this cum and put it inside
well,
yourself?
for me right now, like for me right now, like I haven't been pulling out for like.
That'd be so weird to collect it.
Yeah, collect it and insert it.
Well, right now we've been trying, and I don't want to say we haven't been like forcefully trying, but like, I haven't been pulling out for like the past few months, and nothing's been happening. So for me, one that's like a little bit of like, oh shit, I'm like, all right, I still want to go to the doctor, right? But then also too, I don't want to do something like that because it's like I was I'm older, I should probably know the truth or not, but it was just like they say as soon as like nut hits the air.
Yeah, it's supposed to die.
It's supposed to die. So I'm not risking that.
Yeah.
I'm already finishing inside.
Are you doing like the diets and stuff to kind of improve your like supply and shit like that?
Nah, I
measures?
probably should like my diet's been a little bit better recently. You know, but like I feel like I do want to go into the full on like I have like tea that's like not necessarily for that, but it's like it's it's health tea, but it actually helps that out
Just
too.
gotta have fun, man.
Yeah.
And another comedian told me the same thing. It's just like, yo,
Just
just
gotta have
like,
fun.
it's
Don't
like,
put pressure on it.
it was like, yo, just get
Be
drunk.
in there having fun.
Somebody just said, get drunk and fuck,
Yeah.
and just have some nasty sex. Get drunk, have some nasty sex,
Just gotta have fun.
and that's probably gonna be the night.
And if they orgasm, the chances of them getting pregnant is very high too.
right,
So-
and also too, it's like on the fact of like,
You want to talk about that?
what?
Is she orgasming? She
Well,
Are you
yeah.
doing your
You've
fucking
been
job,
trying
man?
for a couple months.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Are you doing what you're supposed
Yeah,
to be
you're doing what
doing?
you're supposed
well,
to be
also
doing.
too, there was times too where
Answer the question, Keenan.
I said yeah. I said yeah. But it's like there was times too where I think for her too, she's not super fertile. She's never been super fertile like that. So it's like it probably has to be all right. These are the times when I'm ovulating. All right, let's just probably like do it here. Whereas it's like I just been busting. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ovulating or
The
not.
2 weeks before she actually starts is the best time.
Right. And I just been
Shoot the club up.
yeah. So it'll happen. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The good
for
old
sure.
bus, the horror of it all. Actually, you know what's funny? This is actually a good segue what we were talking about. I was telling a girl one time. I was like, she was like, why do dudes be cheating, whatever, right? And I was like, you know what it is? It's not. A lot of times, dudes want to just be at the house. The streets are just full of whores. Like that. You're just full of whore. All dudes want is a whore.
I mean, low key, the event that we were at last night, I was like, yeah, I'm about to bounce. I'm about to leave. And I was talking to somebody else, and he was just like, he said, I should leave too. And he was like, man, you know what? I don't know if I want to leave yet. Cause like, I ain't gonna get no credit for leaving these whores. He was like, there's so many options here. And he's like, I'm not gonna get any credit for leaving these options. He's like, as a guy, I should get credit from leaving essentially a cesspool of whores that want to do something. And I made the strong decision to be like, I ain't gonna fuck none of them tonight. And I was like,
The logic of it makes sense.
it does. But it's like, but also too, I'm just like, you're right. It's like the reason why guys cheat is a lot of time I think is sexual. And then one, if you're not having consistent sex with your partner, or you're not having nasty sex with your partner, and this girl's talking that nasty shit, you're like, all right, cool, I want this. Like I really, really want this. I really want to bust on a girl's face or ass, and it's like if my girl never does that, it's just like I'm going to be yearning from them at some point. I might give into it at some point, especially if a girl goes, I love when niggas nut on my face. If a girl says that to you, and
You
to
don't
a
even know her
guy,
like that. You're like,
you just like, either I gotta get out of here.
yeah. What'd you say? So like, cause I've explained, I've told women this before. Like, a lot of times, dudes, the reason why dudes even look or stray or whatever, or even think about it, is attention, and just be like the thrill of all the newness. Like
Right.
you guys don't do that anymore. Like, and this goes for both ways, obviously too.
You just,
and couples,
you just call it and dial it in.
a lot of couples dial it in, and then bruh's like, I miss still being wanted. I miss, the energy you had sexually when we first started. I miss so it's like, and everybody knew. Now, granted, that newness is gonna wear off. Let's say he actually did it.
Yeah.
It's gonna wear off.
Right.
And she'll get lazy too.
Yes, it's
But-
every new girl you get with it's gonna be the same thing.
So, but it's like you're always yearning for the newness that your partner sometimes forgets to do.
Right, and I think when it comes to women sometimes, it's like they go, well, you got to do this for me to want to do that for you.
Boom.
And it's
Which
like,
is fair.
Which I don't think that is fair. I think
it's fair.
I don't think it is because it's like, not all the time anyways. In some cases, yeah, but it's just like, you're telling me I always got to do something for you to get something from you? Like, how about you just do some shit for me? So that's what I'm saying is not fair. It's like,
Oh, okay. I see what
you see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, at times, yeah, I should definitely. It's not you should not get what you want at all. Like my lady loves dates. When we go out on dates, that makes her want to do something. If I clean up some shit that
But I shouldn't have to take you on a date every time.
Yeah.
for damn sure. To
And
get
you know,
something.
it's the downside of that is you're just letting me know this ain't in you. If I have to give you something for you to be this whore,
Right.
then you're not because you meet some girls who are just
Whore.
some girls are just built like I'm with
They're built
all
different.
this shit.
Yep.
Let's go. And then
Yeah.
other ones you're like, why does it take you so much to get here?
But
Yeah.
it's still, you don't know those women in terms of the longevity of what a relationship.
Oh no,
does
exactly.
with
That's
them.
what we said. That's
Yeah,
what we said.
and that too, because right, it's like there's girls that I've dated that were like you said, they were whores at the beginning, like you said, and then when we were 3 or 4 years in, it's just like you said to dial it in. It's just what it is. But I, when we talk back to cheating, to go to it, it's just like but when a girl be like, why do guys always got to cheat? It's just like, do guys ever slow down? It's like it depends. Like, yo, if you're not, most of us cheat from a sexual standpoint. And it's like you gotta have times where it's like, all right, we're dialing it in, but like at least every once in a while, like every few months, or like at least a few times a month, I gotta be a slut bucket to this nigga.
Right.
Let me just. I don't think it depends at all. I think
I need that.
I
think it
like
depends.
unless the guy is not into that, right? Of course,
Right.
that's where it depends at.
Right.
But if your guy is like into like whoreness, it's not a depends. It needs to happen.
it needs to happen.
It's the same thing on the end of like if your girl wants to be, she goes like, I love like fancy dates. And it's just like, well, I don't like going on fancy dates like that. It's like, well, my nigga, you going to have to step up a few times a month,
Right.
probably take on a nice expensive date for her, just for her thing. I don't think it's just a one-way street, but it's the same. It's the reason why guys cheat. It's like, yo, when's the last time you sucked your guy's dick and a girl be like, it's been
Without asking.
yeah, without asking you.
Without asking.
You just did it.
You just did it.
And she goes,
and not just in the bedroom, watching fucking TV. Oh, I'm getting my dick sucked. This is happening.
Exactly. And then so when you ask a woman that, she'll be like, well, I haven't even sucked his dick in like 4 months, and then I haven't sucked his dick without him asking like in a year and a half. And
But
it's
I ain't
like,
sucked his dick because we behind on bills, and I didn't like the way that what he said to me when he said this,
Hey,
and he ain't been cleaning.
if that's
and
going,
da, da,
if
da.
that's
It'd
going
be
to
a whole
always,
bunch
if
of
that's
other
going
shit.
to
Has
always
that been
be,
expressed?
yeah.
Because
Probably- no.
if he's expressing I want my dick sucked, then you need to express why you're not sucking his dick. Then.
Right.
That needs to be
Yeah.
expressed.
For sure.
Yeah, but
So
she
we
might
can
not.
we can fix these things.
She may not
agree.
understand it or really be able to comprehend it or articulate it in like a healthy way. Because I know when I run into issues and I don't have like crazy expectations of like do this, do that. I just want consistent sex, and I'm like a twice a week type dude, 3 times a week, regular sex, maybe once every 6 months have something crazy, but I can go without that. I'm not gonna ask you to go above and beyond. I'm gonna ask you to pretty much put the same energy into our sexual relationship that you put in when we first started fucking. That's
Right.
and I think that's what most men are asking.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and most women don't do that.
most women fall off.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with guys. Like, and so they go out, like what Keon said, they seek that newness again of that,
Right.
and then they go
And the
they-
validation.
Yeah, and then when you have
Yeah.
a side chick, a lot of times that stays for probably even a longer period of time because one, you can't see them often, and it's also the rush
stays
of like
new.
it stays
Yeah, it
new, and
stays
it's the
new,
rush
yeah.
of like you're doing something you're not supposed to do also. But it's just like that's why when women be like, "Wow, my guy cheated," and I look at you and I'm like, "This you don't even look like you even want to suck a dick." It's like,
But that's the thing. I don't think most women do.
and it's just like, all right, but it's the same. But some niggas don't want to do a lot of things for women either. And you know what they do? They do it. It's like this.
A lot of them
nigga,
don't
I
do
don't.
it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to post a video every day on Instagram, my nigga. But I have for like the past 2 years.
But that's work. That's your work.
Nigga,
That's different. That's your
Relationships are
career.
work, nigga.
Nigga, relationships
Yeah, I
are
suppose.
not
I
just
suppose.
that.
Yeah.
More importantly,
But it's
more importantly, relationships is work, and I'm your partner, my nigga. You should be like, nigga, I gotta do this at some point in time, or I'm gonna lose this person.
yeah. But then but also when you get it done, you want it done with the level of enthusiasm that she wants to be there. So we got to make a decision. It was just like, I know you're here begrudgingly, but like, just be here,
Hey, so
or
here's the thing.
fucking give me that enthusiasm.
So here's the thing. So you knowing that too, you're like, well, I'll just get another bitch. Because
Yeah, I mean, that's
can't.
what-
So that's how we started the conversation. It was like, why do dudes do that? Because
Right.
you know she don't want to do this. Well, let me find somebody who really does.
And then when you, and then
But
when
do they really want to, or are they just
Yeah,
doing
because it's
it
new.
to get to a certain position? They're just
knows?
trying to get
Could
to
be
a
that
certain
too.
Who
spot.
knows?
Could be
But
that
they're
too.
great actresses.
Could be-
That's
They're great actresses.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Because that's all you be chasing is the newness and to go back to what you said, about cutting out early. I was telling someone last night because they was like, you always cut out early, and I was like, man, I'm not one of them dudes, and a lot of dudes probably won't even say this out loud and admit it. I'm very realistic. I'm very honest, and I hate when dudes act like they can just handle anything.
Right.
I'm like, be real with yourself and have that self-awareness of like, sometimes you ain't shit. So it is better to cut out early or not entertain something because you can't, the reason why you open my cabinet there's no junk
Yeah.
is because if it's in there, I'm going to eat it.
Right.
If it's in there, I'm going to
And that's
eat
a
it.
metaphor for pussy.
Nick. So, they be like,
Junk? It's way better than junk.
so when we're out, especially with what we do for a living,
Yep.
and are around beautiful women all the time, and they just seen you on stage, and they coming, I'm leaving. Why? Because if I entertain this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck this bitch.
And that's what
I'm
always
going to.
And when you hear,
Interesting.
when you
And
hear,
I know that,
Yeah.
so I'm out.
Yeah.
but every time you hear
know
a
what I
guy
mean?
that does it and cheats, it's because he stayed longer than he's supposed to, or he
Right.
entertained a situation that he didn't have to.
And he thought he could. No, I can just
So you got to
flirt.
know how long you can stay. I like to stay.
Yeah.
I like the for me. I like the flirtation. I like the temptation
Everybody likes
of knowing that
That you
I
could.
could, and then
Right.
just go home. Like, cool.
I literally
Bye.
said that last night. They was like, how do you
See you later.
stop yourself? I was like, because I honestly was like, no, and I can't.
Yeah.
But
And
here's
then
the
once
thing.
I know that, I'm done.
A lot of dudes can't.
Right.
Right.
And that's the problem. It's like you knowing that, like, yo, I have the strength of like flirt with a chick and be like, all right, I'm out. And it's, I mean, for me, I take satisfaction in being able to be like, all right, cool. He's like, all right, what you trying to do? I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Done.
And it'd be like, wait, what? I take satisfaction, kind of like not a little bit
Yeah.
satisfaction of turning a girl down. So it's like most dudes don't. Like if a girl like hugs them for a longer period of time and they know what they're doing and she smells good, or like sometimes like, some women will hug you and then they'll graze their lips across your neck, right? And it's just like something like, it's tonight's the night then.
Yeah.
They
I
can't
think-
handle that.
I wonder if it has to do with your background and past too, because I see the excitement
for
of
sure.
comedians
Yeah.
when women hit on me, or I see their excitement like
Right.
vicariously, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Nigga, I would have blah
Yeah.
blah blah." And
They
I'm
risking
like-
everything.
And I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys are way too. You
Interesting.
never had a pretty girl. You never had, and like, I don't give a shit.
Well, I think comedy. I think for a lot of, and we told this before. I think in stand-up comedy, black dudes or white, it doesn't matter. A lot of, and honestly, you look at some dudes, you be like, all right. You can tell when a dude is handsome. You can tell probably got hoes, right? Then you be like, all right, even if this dude's not handsome, he has a gift of gab. Like
Right.
he got game. He got a mouthpiece on him. So I've seen the way this dude speaks. Even though he might not be a handsome dude,
Yeah, he looks successful.
he can pull hoes, or he
Yeah.
dresses fly, and that can get him some hoes.
Right.
I can tell that this person got in comedy, and comedy is why he got hoes.
Right.
And so for them, they still don't even know how to. They're still awkward. They don't know how to talk to girls. So when a girl gives them attention, then it's like, and it is sometimes it's why they might do some wild shit they wasn't supposed to do either. But it's just like, all right, you know, if they got a lady back home, whatever the case may be, and this girl's going like, you was funny on so and so.
Right.
He's just like, I'm dogging this pussy out tonight. And it's just like, that's all it took, my nigga? a compliment?
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
and as men, we do want compliments. I do.
I love now.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, nigga. I love
A compliment.
being quote unquote.
I got told I smelled good like two
a
times
lady.
last night.
Yeah, nigga, I love it. I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Interesting.
Two, like 3 women told me I smelled good last night. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like,
You know, it's a little this,
I
little that.
was it's a concoction of things. but it
I
was,
enjoy it.
But it was just like, but past that, I was like, all right, cool. And I've also told my lady too. I was just like, yo, I was like, don't ever get it twisted. All men like compliments. You know why? We don't get them. Yeah. And I encourage every woman compliment you. I would say compliment your man once a day to at least once every other day at least, because it's like we don't get it from anybody.
And what would you tell men in return?
I mean, if you're not complimenting your lady, you know, compliment her too. Like, I mean, and your lady's, I mean, actually what she wants to. Like I said, my lady loves flowers, and I've been up on my game buying her flowers pretty consistently, and she loves that. She's like, when I walk in with flowers, and I try to hide them at first. I walk in with flowers, and all you hear is she'll hear the crinkling, and she'll be like,
That's why this nigga can't get a TV. Why do you fucking flowers?
no, first of all, if you go to the grocery store, here's a trick. Go to the grocery store and get your
Switching
flowers.
tags?
Huh?
Oh.
You said what? What's the tag? No. Grocery store, like when I go to Ralph's or like Trader Joe's, they have flowers for like $4.99.
Oh wow.
Like
Come
good
on.
flowers, nigga. So it's like everybody thinks you go to a flower shop, you getting they're raping you, nigga.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I know it's whatever word, but it's like they're killing you at the flower shop. You go to the grocery store and get flowers. I don't spend more than $10,
So-
and she loves it.
Question. You buy some flowers, whatever, you give her flowers. Are you expecting to have sex that night?
No, like
Okay.
at this, I used to.
Okay.
At this particular point now, it's like I like
Just doing it for her.
doing it for her,
Okay.
and then sometimes I see like she's I can see she's having a day where she's being overwhelmed. I would just go get flowers because I'm seeing that too. Like she's being overwhelmed, we go get flowers, and to see her just come back, just
So you really just buying the flowers so you don't have
shut
to
the fuck up.
So you didn't have to listen to her talking about her. Like, no, bitch. I got you flowers.
Open ass. What you getting flowers for? Should she leave you the hell alone?
well, it wasn't. It's like not even her even talking to me necessarily, but like
Yeah.
her. Sometimes she would either be on the phone with somebody, I can see she's flustered, or I can tell she's having a bad day.
But them being in a bad mood just fucks the vibe up. So I'll do whatever I can to get you out of that too.
That
It
too.
sucks.
That too. Because sometimes having a bad, like you said, and that's what a lot of dudes too. When we go through when it comes to like when it comes to dealing with women, it's just like our frustration comes from like, yo, a bad day that doesn't even involve me can stop me from having
Nigga,
sex.
you're
Bro.
fucking up my vibe.
And it was
bro.
Shit.
I get into so well, it don't be arguments, but I be sending her to her room. Like I'm like, just go upstairs. I'll take care of all this. Go
Yeah,
upstairs.
go
Get the fuck out of here with that negative ass.
Nigga.
Go, just
Everything
get out of
is
here.
So much. I have to do this. I'll
No,
do it.
go.
I'll
I'll do all of it. I'll do all of it.
Nigga.
I do
Go.
so much. We're all doing so fucking much.
Yeah.
You want a cookie?
Yeah.
Nigga,
the
we're
thing.
all doing so fucking much.
And that's why we die early because we don't ever
Jesus
complain about how
Christ.
much we
Bro.
do, and every time they get something, they complain about every single thing. They get it out.
Every week in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna let this bitch kill me. I don't give a fuck. You're not about to kill me, bitch. I'm not letting this bitch kill me. You're not killing me. I don't give a fuck.
But I think that's funny from like their standpoint. It's like they're complaining about what they're supposed to do, or like the daily regimen of like the average person, and it's just like
what
that.
kills me is the self-inflicted complaints.
Yeah.
I have to do this. No one told you to take that extra. No one told you to do that. No one. There's so many people, and
That's quintessential, bro.
I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to put them on blast. But I know a lot of people, and their spouses will complain about work or like extra work they have to do that they weren't assigned to do.
Yeah.
They took that on, and now you're complaining that you're overwhelmed. No one fucking told you to do that.
Stop taking it.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Who told you to do that?
I'm the same way.
I think that's just the nature of people. I feel like people just love complaining about shit, like without any like perspective of like what's happening out in the fucking world and things that other people are going through. People just love fucking complaining.
I know I try to take account into when I am complaining that much. I try to like take that account and be like, wait a second. I'm complaining about one like some easy shit in life.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that's going on that's way worse. That if this was happening to me, my world would be upside down right now.
Right.
So let me take a moment, get it out, but then be like, all right,
Right.
like, I'm essentially living somewhat lavishly.
Right.
And I try to even get that perspective across, like my late time when she's complaining about certain things or what she doesn't have yet in career. I'm just like, yo, do you understand? Like, I mean, you worked at one PA job in the past like 5 months, and everything. The past 5 months, other than that, you had enough money stacked up to you was able to just to work from home or like to like just write or do your dream. So it's just like you're in a great space.
Right.
What
So
the
take the
fuck
flowers
like,
and shout out.
So even for me, it's just like for me when I get mad, I'm like, wait a second, dog. I haven't worked since 2017 for real, like a day job, anyways. So it's like I'm not complaining about a damn thing. I'd be like, that's 5 years at this point.
We just
or
said that
coming
on
5 years.
on Daddy Issues. We were like, before I even said, I was like, I don't even, because they asked, what do we like and hate about our jobs or whatever, and I was like, I don't even want to say this because I feel like I have the greatest job like ever of all time. So I hate even complaining about anything. But I was like, honestly, I don't like anything involved in this other than being on stage.
Yeah.
I don't want to do social media. I want to travel.
Networking. Yeah.
I don't want to network. I don't want to do. I only like come to the stage, Keon Foley.
Bro,
Good night. That's the only part I like.
If teleportation was a thing, they'd be like, all right, the show starts in 15 minutes. Cool, I'm about to go on. I'll be here, shows in New York, teleport to New York.
And I would do the show and then teleport out. I don't
Teleport.
want to do anything else. And if I'm already, I tell people all the time, man, the minute I blow up and I can announce the show itself, I'm not doing social media anymore. I'm not making videos every fucking day. I'm not doing hella podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm not doing none of that shit.
I might keep the podcast aspect of it or like the YouTube aspect of certain things for social media because I still want to have
It's
that
just
income.
funner.
It's fun, but
Yeah.
it's also I want that income of like if you get that fan base, it could translate to like people watching your thing on YouTube
Right,
or
right,
whatever.
the money of it,
You
yeah.
can make like another $30,000 from YouTube monthly.
Right, yeah.
Nigga, I'm gonna stick
Right.
to that. But now, like you said, I probably would just
But I can
have
do it at my own pace. I can.
that too. But then I'll probably just have somebody at that particular point in time. I'll probably have somebody on payroll that can just cut all the clips.
Right.
for me.
I'm not editing. I'm not doing
None of that shit is being done no more. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're putting together all that stuff for me.
I just show up and talk.
Yep, I'm essentially Joe Rogan in this bitch.
Yeah.
You know, they.
And that's what I'm saying. Like on stage, show up and talk. Podcast, show up and talk. Like
yep.
I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do nothing.
But get your dicks up.
Oh, that would be great.
Right.
But you're not doing anything in that sense.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be fantastic. Man. You know what I mean? It's a good time. But yeah, I don't want to do none of that shit. But anyways, what are we like? Wow.
Hour 45.
Yeah, getting there. So
You
talk about parenting for the
we
first.
gotta do 2 hours.
No.
Oh.
What else? Oh, we talked about cheating. We did touch on
We
that.
did. Because I was waiting to get to that because that's what we wanted to talk
Yeah,
about.
we had some good conversation
Or we
earlier.
had it, yeah.
But I want to
Be
hear
a whore. That's
yeah.
the moral of the
No,
story.
I was thinking about like what you how you saying how you just like you love busting on a bitch face. I would like just imagine how many like almost not failed marriages, but like how many like relationships can be saved.
Just one bust a month.
If the girl just it's been 10 years and the girl
He's about
they're
to
just
sign the
fucking
papers.
no and they're fucking and the girl just like come on my face just like after 10 years of just like mundane vanilla sex that shit would say
Then buy you another 10
that
years.
would open the floor for so many more like healthy discussions. You'd be like, okay, well, all right, let's talk about like what do you want me to do? What do you-
I think in all honesty that would, for at least from the guy's perspective, I can't
Yeah.
speak from the woman's perspective, but I think from a lot of guys' perspective, that would save the marriage for real. Like if the girl just like she just does something that's nasty that he likes,
a nigga would listen more.
he'll be like, all right, he'll be like, you know what, I'll do better on my end too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like because at the end of the day, I think the reason why guys, I think Patrice talked about this too a lot on stage, but he's like a man needs what a man what he needs what he wants or what he needs is more important than what a woman needs. Because I have to if I need what you do for me, I have to get that done so I can do what I have to do for you. And what I have to do for you is a lot more. I don't ask you for much. Essentially, like you said, I might ask for just a dick suck and a random dick suck, like you said, a random dick suck and some random pussy maybe in the car every once in a while, and I'll give you the world. But what I'm asking for isn't much. You want the world, bitch. I just want sex, and it's just like if you can't give me sex and you want the world, nigga, fuck giving you the world. You know, if you can't give me this little bit, the audacity for you to even ask for all the shit you're even asking for.
What are they asking for?
The world, nigga.
What does that mean? Just like security and material things?
It could be security, material,
Emotional
things,
connection.
emotional
They do.
attention.
It's the logic of that joke I
physical.
love because it is true. They require more
You want a whole bunch
for
from-
happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're never gonna be happy. So you have to arrive at that point too. There's no quintessential happy.
Exactly.
There's always gonna be
That's
something.
That's what makes it tough. Because
It's not
like,
tough. Once you realize that, you can kind of like, bitch, you're gonna be mad anyway.
Well, no. It's tough because they still want it. You're saying it from your perspective, like
I'm saying once you get it, you're gonna want something else. Yeah.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
like, so from our end, we go, we know you're
Which
you're
is
gonna
fine. So,
so-
he's saying we'll deal with that. Just suck my dick.
just suck my dick.
and I'll deal with you want something else. That's fine.
You gonna want something else?
Why even go on that journey of constantly trying to please? Like, oh, what do you want now? What do you want? Like, you're not gonna be happy.
Well, I think what it is like when you're we already made that commitment to our wives anyways, or our ladies anyways, right? So it's like we already
And I don't even mind it.
I just ignore.
I really
some
don't
shit.
even mind it. It's just suck my dick.
yeah. That's just my thing. Yeah,
I
same.
don't even.
I don't even mind. Like
This
I don't
is
even
so.
mind.
It can't be this simple.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
cannot be
For a
that
lot of
simple.
guys, it
Literally,
is.
I don't even.
I just
I don't
want
wanna
my
pay,
dick sucked.
I don't want to pay bills.
You
Fine.
said, but you've also said before you're not necessarily a big time like getting head type dude.
Because they don't want to do it. That's why.
Exactly. So for you, this logic to you, just
The
like
next bitch does.
Huh?
So the next bitch does.
yeah.
Yeah, she does until we're together,
Exactly,
and then
but
she
you're
doesn't want
not-
to anymore.
you're never gonna
so I
do
just got to
that.
keep recycling like new bitches. Just
And
to-
that's what.
just
So
to
what
get
you
some-
just said is why
niggas
niggas do
cheat?
what they do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
You think so?
Because
I like a lot-
because if you
lot
talk,
of cases.
just like we talking around, every dude be saying the same shit, man. She just
But then that-
lazy or she don't. Do
That
this,
doesn't
or
explain, but that doesn't explain like the celebrity who has the access and has the woman who is there to please him, and he's still stepping out.
I mean, how much is that really the case?
But you already said she's gonna be lazy too.
You think she's gonna be lazy too?
She gets.
You think they all get lazy?
Yes.
I think for the most part, yeah. But then also too.
Not if you know your role.
Yeah.
Nah, but here's the thing though. If you're an actor, like you said, a big time actor, here's the thing. What happens when I'm gone shooting for 3 to 6 months, and you're not there? And now I'm shooting over here, and this actress that I might be filming with, or women in that country, wherever I'm at, or that city, is like, yo, it's been 3 months, and you just like, she's just like, yo, I saw things in action before with women and celebrity dudes, and they'll throw it like none other, whether they're in a relationship or not. So, or you're in a relationship or not. So it's like, it doesn't matter even if he's even satisfied with his lady at the house. If he hasn't gotten it in 6 months, and a girl's saying this, there's a chance that he might be like, fuck it, it's just one time anyways. You know, she ain't gonna say anything. Maybe have her sign an NDA, whatever it takes to be
Yeah.
that type of celebrity.
Yeah.
So it's like I already got it locked down, so she can't say anything. So I'm gonna get it done anyway. I don't care. So it's like it don't really matter. It's like if it's been a long time on top of that,
It's just a time thing.
It
I
could-
need my dick sucked in this routine
yeah, like I said, it was,
twice a week, regardless of the situation.
I forgot who the couple was. It might have been Sally Richardson and her husband. I'm not saying this because it's not private. They said it's on, I think, episode of Black Love. But it was just like she's talking about it. She's like, yo, when I see him go like when we go like so many certain days when we haven't had sex, I see his energy changing. He's frustrated around the house. He's angry. He's getting mad at little shit.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay,
I gotta suck his dick.
time to get it in.
Yeah.
You know, of course she wasn't that specific, but she was just like,
Right.
I got to let me knock him off
so
a little bit.
fine.
She's beautiful, but it's like so for her, that's a great understanding. And I'm sure for him, he probably still gets frustrated because it's probably not still as consistent as he wants it. But at least for him, it's like the fact that you notice that and you're making the attempt. I respect that more than anything.
You know what's crazy though, for somebody like me, is even though I respect it and I appreciate it and everything, in my mind I'm still gonna be like, well, why don't you want it like I do? And that's what
That's psychological.
And that's the part that's like when I say these women, the other women, their energy is like, but I'm not doing this just
Because
you
they
want
want-
it. I want you. And I was like, that's the things that dudes be looking from their partners that over
don't
time they're not getting. It's
Yeah,
like
I still
it's
want
not it's not you doing this.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, you'll suck my dick because but I want you to want to suck my dick.
Well,
But
I
I
think-
want
I don't
that's
think
the thing.
anybody wants to.
I don't
They're
think that's
just
true.
doing it to get to that
I don't think that's true.
spot.
No. There's some
I don't
girls
think
out there that
just like there's a bunch of dudes who only eat pussy because somebody wants it, and
munchers,
there's some
yeah.
who love it.
yeah, because like there's
Like,
some women out there
there's-
that they literally say like they enjoy giving head because
Yeah,
one
because
is
the power of it.
the power
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
a power, yeah.
Yeah, the power dynamic to it. So it's like I think even from what
Some
you're
women love sucking dick.
yeah, but from what you're saying too, it's like you know we want because sometimes like when I look at my lady, I go like I want to do you all the time and and it's like so to me it's like why don't you want me?
I wanna know-
why don't you want me? So we go
Yeah.
tomorrow and we go. You know, you wanted me like this at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
What happened?
I
And
think
it's
that's
like,
just nature.
and it could be some part of nature, but
Yeah.
I also hear this too. I heard this from, and it was on TikTok. But like this girl, she did a video on TikTok, and she was just like, man, after like a certain amount of time when you're with your husband, she was like, is it just me, or do you just be like, ugh?
Yeah.
And then and she went into she went down a little bit more of an explanation, but it was like 40,000 comments of women being like, this is why we got divorced. Like, I felt the same way. It's like after a certain point in time, it's just like he did nothing wrong. He was great to me. He had sex, and he bought me flight. He did all these things for me. I was just like, you're here, and
Yeah.
she's like, I don't even know what fucking happened. Sorry, I spit. But she's like, I don't even know what happened mentally. She's like, after a certain amount of time, this is what happens to us. And I was just like, yo,
That's my next
crazy.
question. I want to know what percentage of married women can you say love sucking
That's what I'm
dick?
saying.
What percentage of married women? If you're single in the streets, that's different.
Right.
What percentage of married women love sucking dick? That's my question.
It's probably small as fuck.
But you know what sucks though, is if your girl or your wife cheats on you and she's sucking the dick and getting freaky and nasty, or as soon as y'all break up and get divorced, she's back on doing that shit again. You go, my nigga, if you would have just did this, there would be no streets.
You know what's kind of funny too? We don't even know like what they're going through because we've never sucked a dick before. So we can't even really empathize. And
I've
like,
had popsicles.
what are y'all really?
Yeah.
What are y'all really going through? Have you sucked a popsicle? Nigga, popsicles melt in 5 minutes. Have you sucked a popsicle
Are
for
they eating
25
pussy, though?
minutes?
Are they eating pussy for
It's
25
not,
minutes?
nigga. Their jaws are all
Nigga,
fucked
my
up.
jaw has
It's not
definitely
the
locked.
same.
I literally-
It's not the
Nigga,
same.
Nigga, I literally told.
My jaw has been worn
It's
the
not.
fuck
I know what
out.
you're saying, but it's
Shit.
not the same.
Yeah, you're not.
No.
That's
No.
that's.
There's
No. No.
I think you're trying to
No.
find a conversation, and it's
No,
not.
I'm not legit.
No.
We don't know what it's like to suck a dick.
And
We
I
have no
know,
idea.
like,
I don't
Listen.
give a fuck. I do not give a flying
It's
fuck.
not- what Gary's
When
saying-
you met me, you knew I
We
was
don't
free.
know.
When you
Nigga,
met me, you knew it was
the reason
free.
why it doesn't really matter for real because it's the same thing. If your girl's never ate vagina, she know what it's like to eat vagina.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
So who
different.
gives
but
a shit?
Yeah, it's different. But yeah, nigga, it's different.
Who
Duh,
gives a
nigga.
shit?
But we still like it. We still
And they
enjoy
like
it.
it.
And some of them like it too.
So who gives a shit?
It's like that's the thing. It's like
And okay, if that ain't your shit, marry a nigga who that ain't his shit. There's a
Yeah.
lot of prude dudes out there.
exactly.
There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
suppose.
dudes
There's
who,
some-
but-
don't need
then-
sex a lot. Who don't. If you marry a freaky nigga with a high sex drive, be on your shit.
Yeah.
There's no other way around.
But I
this
would
shit.
say
There's
majority
no
of
other way
men
to
have
shit.
a higher sex drive than their partners.
That might be the
Generally
case.
speaking.
That might be the case.
Generally
Generally
speaking,
Generally
probably.
speaking, I agree.
But
I agree with
but
that.
there's the typical male, and then there's nigga. Like matter of fact, there was a Malik posted something yesterday, and he said if you're a healthy male, you probably have like 11 erections a day. And the Malik was like, nigga, 11, hell no, I don't do that, blah blah. And then you have others who's like, 11 is a light day for me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it depends on your partner, and if you know your partner, I guess what I'm saying is, depending on your partner,
Babe,
Right.
if you know your partner,
can I ask you something?
oh my gosh.
What?
You on the podcast. Jess, what's going on? You're on the
Good to know.
podcast.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, no problem. Because he wasn't
Hey.
going to let you know.
Oh, Jesus. Just kidding. What do you want?
You're bothering her, Gary. Hurry up, bro.
Take me through what it's like to suck a dick.
Oh my God, I'm working right now.
Because Gary's saying...
No, I was saying that
Yeah.
we as men, we don't understand what women have to go through sucking a dick. We don't know what it's like to suck a dick.
Which is why y'all don't like doing this, what he's saying.
I mean, there's the gag reflex thing. That's a problem.
Uh-huh.
There's the smell. That's
Yo, Gary out here.
Oh, lucky ball, Gary.
Why y'all looking at me? She's talking about sucking dick in general. She's not, y'all looking at me like
Oh, PPP.
I'm the
Gary over
culprit.
here.
This nigga Gary is just let his dick
So-
drip off. Nigga goes to the bathroom, pisses, and then comes right in the room.
Doesn't
Don't
shake
wipe
it
it
off,
off.
no wipe off, no make, no soap.
these
More about
these
that.
these immature. They're just not capable of having a real discussion. All right, go ahead. What else? What is it?
I mean, penises can be like a little veiny and weird to like have in your mouth.
Have a Snickers.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
the head of the penis is weird in your mouth too.
Uh-huh.
Like those little whatever those things are on the end. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Uh-huh.
Let me think. Yeah.
You're talking about in general, right?
Gary's like, man. Yeah. Gary's like, wait a second. This is all my dick
So what you
off?
saying? You saying you don't like my
Oh
A1 vein?
my God.
You don't like my V2 vein,
Oh,
huh?
bro, sweating,
No,
bro.
go ahead.
Yeah, that one.
They think you're talking about me.
I mean, I'm thinking about your penis. I'm talking about it.
All right, I gotta go.
You gonna learn to stop calling Jess, bro. You gonna learn to stop calling her,
Oh
dog.
my God. Oh, my stomach hurts. We're done.
Oh, bro, my fucking hot. I'm sweating right now, dog.
Shit.
Oh man. He's like, well, in general, right? It's like, no, of course she's not gonna give it in general because she's the one that, as a woman too. Even if she was, she's not gonna want to say that because it's like she don't want to be like, are you thinking about other guys' dicks? You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that she's going off with you.
But we don't. That's not a part of our sex life. So
And Gary out with the stank dick, bro. Gary out.
she said just the smell in general.
I mean, and that's why typically I know with our situation, typically for us, you know, we're
Well,
always
women have a lot of nerve to talk about smells.
A lot of nerve.
Yeah.
But
A lot of nerve.
she's very mild, so
Like,
she can talk about smells if she wants.
But I would say a lot of times, are you normally getting head or having sex right after you get out of the shower, or sometimes you'll do it like it doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter.
even getting head. Sex,
No, we don't do head. That's why I was like, are you talking about me? Because that's not. I haven't had head in like 10 years.
nigga, this nigga's a liar, bro.
I'm dead ass serious.
Bro, this nigga's a straight liar,
I'm dead ass serious.
bro.
I'm dead ass serious. That's why I was like, are you talking about? I know you're not talking about me. I thought you were talking about like in general.
Jess has never given you head.
She has, but she's probably giving me. I've known Jess since 2008. Jess has probably given me head 3 times. And one time, which was arguably some of the best that I've ever had in my life, was when I flew into town and I had some other girl a friend of mine pick me up.
You told the story before.
Pick me up from the airport,
Yeah.
and I went to the bar with her and a couple of girls and met after the bar.
Competition head.
Yeah, it was competition, and it was like fire head.
Well, you got to bring other bitches around.
Crazy fire. Oh yeah, I got to do that all the time. I got to keep on her toes. Yeah.
He's flowers, other bitches. That's
But I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm fine without it. So it's not,
me. And I don't even like it. I don't even need it that much. I just like the idea that you want to do it, you do it, and like I'll stop you anyways.
Yeah.
I love the idea like that you want to do it.
Yeah.
That's when I would be game for
Right.
it. But
Like,
if you
and
don't want to
halfway
do
through,
it,
I'd be like, all right, sex.
Yeah.
if you don't want to do it,
I'm ready for the sex.
peace.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I ain't calling her no more. That's the last phone call
where are you at
she'll
this
get
weekend?
from me.
Accountability, baby. We didn't tell you to call. We never tell you to call.
It's always a fun.
I know it's always
a fun.
it's always
element.
fun part of the
Yeah.
podcast now at this point.
Yeah.
This week, when this comes out, I don't have anything. But next week, I'll be in Jacksonville with Tony.
Nice.
So if you're in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval 904 Ho, come through, man. I'll be out there.
I will be at Chocolate Sundays, of course, on Sundays. Keon's All Stars drops on the Kevin Stage app
You got it sold.
May 25th.
Beautiful.
So May 25th, it drops officially.
Season 2.
Yep, season 2.
That's been like in the works for a minute, right?
I've had
It's
it.
been filmed for a minute.
I've
Yeah.
had it. But
You guys somebody edited it already too, or they edited it?
It's done. It's done. They did it. And so 25th, and then I'm in Jersey, Brunswick, New Jersey with Kev on Stage, and Boston with Kev on Stage the end of the month.
In Boston.
So
mean streets of
that is
Boston.
it.
Nice.
And there, the Woodward Theater, right? The theater is on?
Yeah, Boston's the theater. It's one nighter.
Super dope. Gary?
I think I'm on. No, that's Friday, Comedy and Magic. But this airs on what? Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, yeah. I didn't send my bills.
Yeah, other than that, yeah.
I've been mind building for a long time for
All right.
Magic.
We out.
Oh, I feel for my brother.